beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good karma is a must. Still my shooter in the cut. I was stuck inside a rut. Played the game, made bank, moved G. Anything to get a buck. You won't find me in the club. I'm in the lab trying to sharpen up the sword. Swinging blades at these scrubs. Bitches flock like bugs to the light. Yeah, right. Treat my hoes like these raps. I don't really got a type. Off top, bullshitting. All I needed was a mic. Yeah. Hey, pass the rock, it's all butter. Pack your bags and take flight. Don't worry, it's all covered. Hey, live your life while you can. Our days are all numbered. Rain could cause thunder, but the sun comes after, clearing up the disaster.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody days a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Like, yeah.
I got some places I should take you to see. You know it's easy when you ride with a G. Light speed, moving fast through the city, trying to find me some peace. I finally lived to be the guy that I was dying to be. Still I got some trust issues, people lie through their teeth. The more I grew, the more they hide in the crease. Squad building, weak members get released. If we trying to compete, starting pitchers need relief. Bro, we building a team, everybody got a niche. I've been known to play mine to a T, but it's time for me to lead. Picking dirt right out the cleats. Steep path, roadblocks in the streets, trying to knock me off my feet, cause the devil never sleeps. So I don't sleep too, and trying to breach safes that I didn't have the keys to. We all been victims of trauma we ain't agreed to, but the sun comes after, starting up a new chapter.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody days a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Like, yeah. Isn't it lovely?
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Black Men and Filters Barbershop. Glad y'all could join us this evening. Y'all, it's going down tonight. We finally finna have a conversation, y'all. We're about to have a conversation. Y'all know what I'm talking about, too. We're gonna talk about 20 in the front and 40 in the back. How did we get here? You know what I'm saying? But before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure we recognize a few people that's in the chat. I'm gonna say welcome to Embrace the Grace in the building. We got grooming and reviews. We also got my boy Rev in the house. And let's see, grooming. We got our pain in the building. And also we got Lana S. Good to see you, darling. Almond Eyes, is always good to see you, darling. Black Man and Filters watching from the clouds as usual. You know what I'm saying? We got World Class in the building. And we also got my boy Trey Taylor in the building. You know, Mr. I don't want to fold no clothes. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. And we also got green beans. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and bring in my partner in crime. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know him from around the way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know him as the continent. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only our pain in the building. Hey. Our pain, what's going on, sir?
All right, man. What's happening, man? Good Friday, man. Happy Friday.
So how you feeling, man? How you feeling?
Hey, man, it's cool. I'm good. Doing all right. Can't
Good.
complain. I try not to complain. Nobody wants to hear it anyway.
Indeed. We got one more that snuck in the back. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Don't Want to Phone No Clothes, Mr. Trey.
What's
He's
good,
joining us from the audio. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on?
What's happening, Trey?
Not much, sir. How are you?
Doing good. How was your week today, sir?
Not too bad. Try to stay out of this hot ass sun.
Man, what you talking about? It ain't playing out there today, man.
No.
It's gonna be hotter tomorrow. So
what was the temperature down there where you at, man?
we only did 91 today. But a couple of days ago we did like 96. We're looking at another 96 tomorrow.
Yeah. That's hot. That's next to hell hot right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, me and our pain was back in the back chat, man. We was talking about, you know, we was talking about, I wish we could have just, you know what I'm saying, had our kids meet somebody who was, when they were younger, you know what I'm saying, had at least I had my hand in it. You know what I mean? Our pain, gonna show them a little bit what we was talking about, man, because today, dating is a trip, man. It really is.
Well, yeah, like I said before on this panel, you know, that's the one thing I didn't think about when my daughters were growing up, you know, because in our culture, we don't really look at arranged marriages and stuff.
Right.
But I had a whole bunch of my peers, because I'm in the frat, you know, guys who have families. They had kids the same age I did. Maybe I started a little later,
right,
when I had kids, but still, if I would, you know, I know some vetted families that I'm close to. And it'd been nice to try to set it up to say, hey, listen, why don't your kids meet my kids? Right. You know, why, you know, and do that kind of stuff. And they can hit it off. Because I know a couple of people who had arranged marriages. I mean, in the modern era. One guy was Jamaican. And the other guy was from, he was a Coptic Egyptian. So he went back home. And he came back with a wife. And they had known each other when they were kids.
Yeah.
And they had no real interaction until he went back. She came back. They're still married. It's been like 30-something years. I mean, so is the Jamaican brother. I mean, it's a girl. They still married. 2 sons.
Yeah.
And their families were close, you know.
Yeah.
He wasn't even thinking about her, man, until his father said, hey, come down to Atlanta, hang out with me for a while. They interacted. They hit it off.
Yeah.
You know how girls bloom from tomboyish, and then you look at them again 5-10 years later, and they're fully grown women. You say, "Holy shit!"
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Hey, like Lisa Keys said, I do look a little different outside my work clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's what happened, man.
That's
so here's the real point of that, right? They learn to love each other.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They learn.
Right.
Well,
right.
if you look at the statistics, India, 1% divorce rate, and in the United States, for those who admitted to having arranged marriages, 4% divorce rate. So there is something to this arranged marriage, and I think because you involve families, you involve people who aren't thinking with their penis or thinking with their vagina, that they're able to make more sound decisions about putting 2 people together.
Exactly.
And you have overseers. You have natural overseers. The parents on both sides are like natural overseers. Listen, to the guy, you better not defile my daughter, and to the girl, you know what? Remember who the face of your father. And when you go through this process, I didn't think about that shit even once.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that too. I want to welcome to the show, Grooming and Reviews. What's happening, sir? What's going on, man?
Another day, another penny. You know how it is.
Hey, what's up, Groom? What's up?
How was your week, man?
Long. It's not even over yet.
I think it was long for everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? So
this
let me ask you
is kicking my ass in the kitchen. I'll be honest with you. It's 95 is like 110 in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine.
That's hot. Yeah, that's here. That's next door hill hot right there, man. That's hot. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Grooming, let me ask you a question. Did you guys in Greece, do you guys have arranged marriages, man? And
yes, they're actually very common. Me and Paul actually went over on a gray area show, but they're very common because there was more the old school crowd, but the newer crowd, like the new generation, is still doing it. Not as much, but it's still out there.
Right. So this is a cultural thing, is that correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Our pain, like you were saying earlier, man, sometimes you have to think about that stuff early. So, you know, by the time, you know, get older, you pretty much got to, you know, feel for the family, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. But, you know, everybody, they want to choose their spouse, man. And for some reason,
we're not doing such a good job of that shit, though, man.
Oh, man.
As much I'm going to bite my tongue and say this, Trey was right. It was like most, you know, when you get arranged, it's not thinking about with your dick or your, you know, what's between your legs. Is you're thinking about, okay, I'm in, you know, marrying this woman to start a family, have kids, to, you know, grow whatever you're trying to grow at the moment. So it's a team effort trying to get to know each other because you're literally meeting somebody you never know. Obviously, some countries, you know, like I think Asian and India, I believe, like you literally meet them one day and a week later you're married. You like your daughter is getting sold off in a way. But in Greece, they give you time to get used to it. You get to know each other. Yeah, every arranged marriage doesn't always work out. But if it gets to the point you're married and you move on to the next step, have kids and stuff like that, from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, out of 10 marriages, there's only 1% of failure in divorce rate.
Right.
That's pretty good odds, in my opinion.
Right. I'm going to bring up another person up to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for his ghetto point of view. Yes, sir. Welcome to the show, sir. You on mute.
Salute everybody. How y'all doing? Hope y'all week
doing good. How was your week, brother? How was your week?
Can't complain. Good, sir. Can't complain.
Good. What you think about the topic, man, about arranged marriages, man? And you think that could work in our community?
I do think that is a subject that we need to revisit with a lot of the chaos going on in our community. I think that at some point, if we want different, we got to do different. And as cliche as that sounds, extreme circumstances take extreme solutions. Yeah. And perhaps some of our children would benefit from us getting a bit more involved in who they going to start their future with.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I got a video.
Without question.
Go ahead. I got a video. Listen, I got a video. I'm gonna start this thing out with. Basically, it's we have to start from the pathology of how these things work and how they come to be. Because sometimes we like to think that we know what we're doing. You know what I mean? Sometimes we gamble on love. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna make sure that you guys take a look at something, and I want y'all to see something right quick because this is hilarious. I want to pull this up, and I want y'all to see this, and I'm going to share my screen.
Win a prize. Go for it. That one. Go. Look at that. What'd you get? How much you get?
Can I keep it?
Yeah, you can keep it. That's yours. It's 200. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Move this bread out of the way. Okay, this one's already got. You gonna go for one? What'd you get?
100.
100. You get to keep that. That one. What's under there? How much? $300. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. Now here's the thing. Wait. We're not finished yet. You can either keep that or you could forfeit it for a chance to win more. Do you want to keep it or forfeit?
I'm going to keep it.
Do you want to keep that or do you want to forfeit? That's up to you.
I think I'm going to keep it.
You're getting 100. Do you want to keep that or do you want to forfeit it?
Forfeit. You don't need the money.
You want to forfeit? Okay.
I already knew where that was going.
Which one do you want to get? It's up to you.
I'll try it again.
Okay, how much is there? What is that? Is it 20? Okay. Okay.
Now, watching this video just really reminded me of the dating world. So many people out there, they will have somebody in their hand, somebody good for them, something solid. They can do something with it, but they just want more. They just can't settle for what they have in their hand. And a lot of people will risk that, go out, try to chase the more, and they end up with nothing. That happens every day, and it's crazy. Now, I do want to say this last part. I personally want to spend my life with a Black woman. I know everybody won't agree with that, but that's what I want. But I have to acknowledge that what I didn't know, this is the woman who won the most money and then ended up risking it all and then losing the most money was a Black woman. Look, I'm not saying it's like with all of them. I'm just pointing it out. Don't get mad at me. I didn't make the video, okay? I'm just saying I noticed that.
She took the 20 in the front.
Hey, but Lost, that's not
in the back.
That's not even the biggest issue. She got talked into it
by
another female.
Come on, Trey, talk to us, man.
She got hated on because if you look at it, she got the most money, right? If she was paying attention, the other girl got 200, the other girl got 100. You won this thing, right? Yeah. You won this thing. What's up, Take It? You won this thing, right? And you let the girl who had less than you tell you to trade in what you had, even though you had more than her. This is woman psychology 101.
Man, we just knew it was coming, man.
Come on, RP. What was your thought when you first started, man?
Like I said, I don't even need to repeat it. Trey he called it all, man. But for some reason, I knew the setup, not you on purpose. I knew the Black woman wasn't going to settle for the money, and I just knew. I mean, so that's why I started laughing early, because I knew it was coming. But the point of them being talked out of it, that's just a metaphor, a microcosm of how Black women get talked into all kinds of dumb shit. Yeah. They just latch on to shit, man. You know, maybe because it was a white woman. If it was a Black man that told her to put that shit back, she probably just screamed at him. Get out of my face.
That's facts. That's facts, RK.
Oh my goodness. Grooming, what did you think when you saw it, man? The lady had the most money, man. She had them born, you know what I'm saying? She had all the money. She had more money than the other two combined.
I think we're missing the money part. I think it's more reminds us like when a woman is with a good man, their girlfriend says, "Man, you need to leave his ass. He's controlling you. He's doing this and doing that." I think that's what the money reminded me of, to be honest with you. Is she had the most, like her friends talked her out of it, like, "Yo, give the money back. You don't need it. You're good." Why? Because you got the most? Like, if you meet a good man who can give you everything, like a good house, you know, car, whatever the case is, whatever you're looking for, like a good provided man, and your friends got jealous and said, "Yo, get rid of him. He's not good enough for you." That's what I think that representation is.
Thank you. Get on point of view. What's happening, man? What did you think when you saw it, brother?
I think that the way these two brothers just described it is amazing. I don't even know what else to add to that. That's just like they said, it's a classic case of how does the saying go? Your single friends will keep you single.
Yeah.
Or misery loving company.
Yeah.
They weren't appreciative of the position they were in. They were envious and jealous of the position she was in, and they made her risk and gamble her more enviable position while they held and secured theirs tight and watched her throw everything away.
You know what? They had first right of refusal. You know what I'm saying? They could have went for the bread themselves. They're like, "No, I'm good." You know what I'm saying?
And she didn't even ask them, "Well, why don't y'all take the opportunity since it's so appealing or appetizing?" She just threw it away.
Right. You should have did one of them, Gary, come what you talking about, Willis. You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't go for it? Why we don't do that, man? Why don't we question the folks that around us that make us do these wild decisions when they had an opportunity to do it, but they walked away? Why don't we ask that question, man?
That's a good question. That was a good one.
Think about it. That was, to me, that was wild, man. You had an opportunity that she did, and you decided you didn't want to, but you're gonna talk this other one up out of it. You know
go right into it. After you said no, thank you, I'll pass.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious.
And it's the terminology she used. She said, "Girl, you don't need that money. Listen to what she said.
Yeah,
You don't need that.
I'm gonna run it back, man.
Listen to what she says to her. Lit. She said,
I think you
don't
might be
need
on to
that.
something, man. I think you might be on.
Yeah, run it back.
I think you might be on to something, man. Hold on, let me run it back. Because that was hilarious. Here we go.
Go for it. That one, go. Look at that. What'd you get? How much you get?
Can I keep it?
Yeah, you can keep it. That's yours. It's 200. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Move this bread out of the way. Okay, this one's already got. You gonna go for one? What'd you get?
100.
100. You get to keep that.
Try this.
That one, what's under there? How much? $300. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, now here's the thing. Wait. We're not finished yet. You can either keep that or you could forfeit it for a chance to win more. Do you want to keep it or forfeit?
I'm gonna keep it.
Do you want to keep that or do you want to forfeit? That's up to you.
I think I'm gonna keep it.
You're gonna be 100. Do you want to keep that or do you want to forfeit it?
Forfeit. You don't need the
You
money.
want to forfeit? You're gonna forfeit? Okay, so this goes. Which one do you want to get? It's up to you.
I'll try it again.
Okay, how much is there? What is that? Is it 20? Okay. Okay.
$20.
She said forfeit. Go ahead. Forfeit.
Cold-blooded.
$20, man. She gave up $300 for $20, man.
Lost. I stick to my original statement. Think about it. Pretend the money is a man, for example. Why is she listening to her goddamn fucking friends?
I don't think those ladies were even her friends. I thought those were just random women in the grocery store, man.
That's right. That's even worse.
Yeah,
that's even worse.
At least your friends would have had something.
Grandpa, Doctor, what's his Grandpa at a time up there. He's 100%. It's right. It's why the fuck are you listening to some strange woman? But let's pretend they are friends for a minute. Let's use that example. How many relationships have ended through friendships? Let's say that she's really happy with her man and everything, and her friends start whipping in the ears like. Next minute, she starts listening to her, and they keep listening. Next minute, a little more, and now she's changing her attitude towards him. Like the guy's like, "The fuck happened to my woman?" Pretend the money's like that.
And the killer part about it was so easy. Yeah. It didn't even take much. Girl, you don't need that money. That's all it took.
Yeah, because there's a blind faith in the sisterhood. Oh, she wouldn't tell me nothing wrong, man. So I can just listen to her. No, she's setting you up. She wants you to have less than what she has because she's jealous. You weren't supposed to get the $300. She was supposed to get the $300, right. And you have the equivalent of both of them combined. Yeah. I mean, this is a great video. This is woman psychology 101. It's so many lessons. And what I'm thinking about the y'all know the joke, the candy store joke, not the candy store joke, the elevator joke.
The husband store.
Yeah, the husband store.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the joke. This is the husband store 101. This is the husband store joke in real life. Get all the way up to the top, and you done pass 4 levels of good decent men to get to the top level, only to end up with nothing.
Right. I thought that was wild, man. I really did. It was so easy for them to talk her right up out of there, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to break to the stage. The one and only Ricky Williams in the building. Yes, indeed. Go ahead, Rick. What's happening, man? Introduce yourself, man.
Man, why I got to do this, man? They know what it is, man.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Happy Fire Day, my brothers. Happy Friday.
Yes,
sir. Good, bro. Salute to you, good sir.
What's happening? Rick, you saw the video, man. What did you think, brother?
That's what they do, bro. Look, man, we got to stop lying to ourselves, bro. I'm trying to tell you, no one can influence a woman faster than another woman.
Oh, my goodness. It was so easy, Rick. It was so easy, man.
Don't know them women from a can of paint dish.
No,
they just met in Walmart or Target or whatever it was, but they got money in their hand and they convinced her to get the money she wants. Come on, man. You can't make this up, bro.
That was hilarious, man. That was hilarious. But I think that speaks to the pathology of the sisterhood once you think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where, if you're doing better than me, I want to make sure that you get what you got taken away from you so I can look better. At the end of the day, the other two are in better positions now that they didn't talk her up out of it. You see what I'm saying? So now they feel better about themselves. I think it was that old joke, man, is if you at work and you find out, you know, hey, this job pays $100,000, would you take this, or would you know that you were making more than somebody else, but you would take less money? You know what I'm saying? If everybody else was making 80, would you take a little bit more? You know what I'm saying? Or less if they knew. And I think this was the same situation, man. It's one of those things where, you know, it's where, you know, if somebody else is doing better than you, how can I ruin their situation? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I just think.
Hey, Lit, was it this easy when Eve was in the garden too? Was it that simple?
Yes, sir.
Was it this simple? Was it that easy?
Hey, you never know, man. You know, sometimes there'd be that little voice in the back of our mind be like,
show me the money.
You know what I'm saying? Show me the money. And I guess she must have thought it was going to be a little bit more up under there, you know? Because think about it. When she first saw it, the money kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It was like, oh my. The first was $100. The second was $200. The lady got $3. In the back of her mind, that's a pattern. So, you know, hey, it might be a little bit more behind this.
It also leads to, like you said, the mentality that they always believe there's something better out there. Right. They'll never take the win they get because they always believe it's something better out there.
Right.
You know who else believe in patterns, Lit? Gamblers. Gamblers believe in patterns.
Yes. Oh, no doubt. So what's the chances? What's the chances that lady has done something similar in the rest of her life?
You know what? That's a good question, man. You would think that instincts would kick in. I've seen some real good gamblers stop on the streak, and I'm like, why you stop, brother? He said, man, I'm ahead. He said, you know, they was like, you playing with house money. He said, that ain't house money, that's my money. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Once it's in my pocket, that belonged to me. You know, I've seen a lot of people lose money at the casino, man, because they thought they was gonna beat the casino, but they don't put them flashing lights out there for no reason.
The more you play, the more you lose, right?
And you gonna lose.
That's in life. They don't understand it, bro.
Yeah, every time you roll that dice, buddy, them 1% and 2% add up.
Right. Your odds of winning going down, the house odds of winning going up.
Yep. The house always wins. The house always wins. Go ahead, R-Pain. You wanted to say something?
I'm done. No, I don't know. I'm good.
Good. Well, why was it so easy, man? Just a quick question. Why? What is it in us that causes us to do stuff like that? Just to gamble it all away?
Oh, don't say us.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing.
Well, what do you think made her gamble it all away, so to speak?
No, again, as I mentioned, I think it's twofold. Like I said, one, they always think better is out there, right? And two, really, again, this is just my opinion, guys. I always like to preface lately because people be taking stuff weird, right? I think women always think other women have their best interests at heart. Mm-hmm. I really think they believe that, right? Because they're a woman, right? They think the other woman will behave or demonstrate what they feel is what they believe in. And we all know that's not the case.
Right. Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and go over the super chat. $5 super chat from Take Heed to the Message. She said they always listen to the fake sisterhood. You know what? I believe it.
Show me the money.
I believe it. And I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of music for Take Heed, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, she always supporting us. Take Heed, give me a second. I'm gonna give you something good. I ain't gonna give you nothing ratchet. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Hold your socks. I got something for you.
Whatever you want, whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Oh, whatever you need, then nothing I won't do. Whatever you want, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Whatever you want, my heart belongs to you.
That's that Jodeci cover. Y'all don't know about that.
What?
That's
that background and the foreground. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Go ahead, sir.
You know, I got one more video for you that's gonna lead right into this, man, about expectations. You know what I'm saying? And why is it that we expect, you know, different from us than we expect from other people? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video for y'all. Let me share right quick.
In a way that is able to get deals on the table. Like they've been taught to believe that like a combination of Jay-Z and Warren Buffett and like is out there waiting on them. And this man does not exist. And that's the problem. And I think, you know, especially the social media narrative is pushing this like, wait, you know, if he's not treating you this, if he's not buying you this, he's not worth it. And it's like, who are these? Women are taught or even encouraged by other women to believe that they can find this man that does not really exist, right? So this man that has expendable income that he can just take them on, you know, excursions and getaways, and he's cultured, he is able to you know, go into a boardroom and carry himself in a way that is able to get deals on the table. Like they've been taught to believe that like a combination of Jay-Z and Warren Buffett and like is out there waiting on them. And this man does not exist. And that's the problem. And I think, you know, especially the social media narrative is pushing this like, wait, you know, if he's not treating you this, if he's not, and it's not, he's not out there.
Or they're going to be getting the fakes.
Or they're going to get scammed.
Yep.
Get scammed.
Yep. So who do you think told this lie?
Well, I think social media tells the lie now.
But before?
Social media tells a lie. But I think what happened is like women in my parents' generation, we saw them, they could not work. A lot of them could not work, or they didn't have the skills to work outside of like,
here we go,
being domestics, right? So they were at the mercy of their husbands, which is a horrible place to be, right? Because then there was a lot of abuse and men were taking advantage of that. So then my generation came, we were like, oh, I don't want to be that, right? So I'm going to earn on my own. So then we started doing that. So you see that there's the feminist movement happened and women started doing more, becoming more educated. Oh, y'all gonna be waiting and he's not out there.
Or they're going to be getting the fakes.
And in some places really have surpassed men when it comes to education, right? And that's because anything that's oppressed, especially us, as people of color, we're going to rise to it. So when that happened, then our daughters saw that, right? So then mixed with a little bit of toxicity, and then you got the city girls, right?
It's a little sprinkle.
Yeah, a little sprinkle, and it becomes like, I don't need a man unless he's paying. And but it all came from, there's a trajectory of toxic relationships, dysfunction, oppression, women being oppressed, not wanting to deal with that, and then it not being addressed there's not a lot of fathers in the house at one point, where fathers were taken from the home. So there's no one to say, hey, we're people too, right? And so now you have a generation of women who see men as ATM machine.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I agree. The thing is,
and in some places,
you know, they have that old saying, teach history so it doesn't repeat itself.
Right.
But I actually came to this conclusion, and I'm not saying that this applies for all the time.
Right.
But maybe you shouldn't, because we teach history and all it does is bring forth the same situation or a traumatic response to a situation. Because we teach history and we tell people what happened and, you know, the reasons why it happened, but we never told people how to deal with what happened.
You know what? I'm gonna let that thing breathe, because I heard some things that I really didn't agree with, but I'm gonna get started with Rick this time. Rick, what did you think about the video so far, man, before we get deep into this thing?
I don't think nothing about the video, honestly. It's the same old rhetoric that's being passed and pushed along, right? If these things were untrue, didn't nobody fight them?
Right.
nobody say, oh, to the contrary. Right.
Right.
So anything that's not contested is going to be accepted as truth by the masses.
Right.
I mean, y'all see it in real time, but y'all don't associate how it works psychologically among the people sometimes. And I'm talking in general. If you do, you do. You don't, you don't.
Right.
Right. I firmly believe like the things we see nowadays is almost a form of mass psychosis.
Absolutely.
Right. And if no one challenges it, it becomes true, whether it's a lie or not.
Right.
Right. So again, the color purple rhetoric. Look at how they say that being dependent on your husband is a bad place to be. Ain't that what she said?
She sure did. She sure did.
So which one is it? You want to be able to depend on your husband? You want a provider or not? Because obviously, really what y'all saying in y'all psyche is that y'all don't want to depend on no man because a man will have control of you, right? Not the fact that they always use abuse and things of that nature. Not saying it doesn't happen, but in mass, is that what went on? In mass. Right? Ooh, our women weren't skilled in the workplace. Hey, domestic duties was all that's done. Did you guys know the advent of conveniences like the electric stove, processed foods, and what they used to call them?
TV dinners.
Right? Were invented because black women were no longer working for white women. Our women always worked. Always, whether it was for themselves, the family, or for free. They always worked. This a black woman being at home as a housewife, that came from the white man's trope. That's why it was considered a privilege when a black man was able to keep his wife at home. We are convinced and followed and trained up and learned it in lies. Everything we taught was a lie. Everything we learned was a lie. But once that lie becomes the truth in your mind and you believe it, you see where we are today. I relinquish the mic.
Thank you. Thank you. Get a point of view. What did you think?
This would be crazy if this was like one of those Senate hearings where you could be like, yo, I want to donate my 3 minutes to Uncle Ricky because that brother was cooking and I just wanted to just give him the mic right back. You know what I mean? But I appreciate him handing it off. Yeah. I mean, what is there to say that he didn't just, you know what I mean, already dig into? I will say, just to expound upon it, not only this trope of sisters could only do like basic domestic work. It's when are we gonna be tired of this? That's all I want to know. Like, we keep saying that we're ready to like move on and we woke now and all this and that, but when it's real convenient for whatever type of little narrative we want to push, we jump right back into whatever stereotypes and tropes and mischaracterizations of history have been put out there. We have no problem putting those characters on. We put them on with a smile when it fits our particular perspective or agenda that we want to sell at the time. So, and I think it's done far more damage to our community than any little bit of good people could say it has done. So I'm just really waiting for the time where we'll be done and past these, because as Ricky alluded to, sisters have had tons of different jobs throughout history. It's ridiculous. There were sisters who were owners of people. I know people don't want to deal with that. There were sisters who were owners of all different types of stuff. Like, it wasn't just I can't remember the sister's name who was they say she was the first billionaire off of hair products.
Madam C.J.
Madam C.J. Walker. But if she was the first billionaire, didn't she have a teacher who was a millionaire before her? Like, so this conversation that they be having doesn't make any sense. And I'm really tired of it. I'll leave that there because I'm sure y'all gonna dig deeper into that part.
We got plenty of where that came from. Yeah.
But and then this thing with as again, brother Ricky, he killed it. Like, if you want to depend on your man, he's going to be of a particular echelon. If you don't, then get any type of brother off the street, and you can't really complain with what you get. And if such a man, like she gave the example of Jay-Z / Warren Buffett, this financially savvy man who also has some street zeal or some common sense, whatever we putting that as, he's got a bit of swagger to him. He does exist. That man is going to be, one, rare, two, have particular standards, three, which most women, period, of any race, particularly, we talk about, sisters out, women that we around now, like those, do they match up to those standards? Like, of that Warren Buffett, Jay-Z dude? Like, is a dude who's that rare looking for people who's not trying to make him a plate of food? Looking for people who's constantly looking for adoration from a bunch of random men on social media? Looking for people who will throw away $300 for $20 at the grocery store? Like, are the sisters who saying Warren Buffett and Jay-Z is what they looking for even qualify for such a man? And a lot of times we don't even dig into that. But it's been said a million times. The people who want to learn are gonna learn. Those who don't, unfortunately, I'm not really sure if they have any intention of learning. And that's sad. And they'd be like, "Oh, that's messed up. Why you say you got to keep throwing them a lifeline?" Yeah, you throw them as many football passes as you want. I personally believe that at some point it's better to take the people who really want to learn and really want to grow and really want to move on with those people. Move on building communities with those who actually want to have community, and let these people who want to have these silly conversations about things that none of them qualify for continue to just do that till they either, get too old to even matter, just die. I mean to say it so roughly, but just talk themselves out of win, man, because some of these conversations are very unconstructive, and I get it. They just trying to create content, so I'm not hating. But those who really want to build, they'll build, and those who just want to talk, they'll talk. That's really my 2 cents on it.
Appreciate it, Ghetto. Groma, let me ask you a question. Do you think Jay-Z would pick a woman who would throw away $300, man, like that, on a whim, on a hunch, on a guess? Is that the type of woman do you think of a savvy businessman would choose?
Hell fucking no.
Why do you think that? Just entertaining the question.
Personally, if I was in his shoes, I want a woman who knows how to invest her money to, let's say, buy property, a business, a restaurant, who can help me run the business. Let's say I have maybe a business in, I don't know, car dealerships. I want her to help me with the financials. I need a backup. Running a business is stressful enough because you have to worry about finding the work, payroll, insurance, yada. If she can take a little pressure off me, just do the phone calls, please. But don't give me the phone call. Hey, this guy wants to ask you a question about how often to rotate his tires. Seriously? No. But if you give me a woman who actually knows how to invest her money, how to put it through, like 300 and turn into 600, from 600 turn into 3,000. I think that's the best bet. Invest is, if she knows how to invest, not spend. That's a good one to me. And the one who knows to save. If you know how to save, you're not throwing away anything. Obviously, some things have to get replaced eventually, but if she knows how to save, to me, that's a big plus in a relationship, any relationship.
Appreciate it. R-Pain, it's on you, sir.
Yeah, one of the things I hate about these conversations that the guy who was, I guess, the moderator didn't check her on some of the bullshit she was talking about, because he doesn't understand because he doesn't understand either. Now, we don't have to rehash the fact. One of the things is when I hear people, I don't know how old she was. Let's say she was like 35.
She was old enough to know better.
No, but let's say she's 35. For her to come out and say to women, because I'd like to get some context to this, because I'm 66 and my mentors and all the women I knew worked. And not only did they work, they had jobs that were self-sustaining. They all retired with pensions and they all stayed married to the men until they died. You know what I'm saying? Well, either the men died or they passed away. And so this narrative, this lie that Ricky talked about that keeps getting perpetuated, that women were slaves to men, that's the only reason why they were with us. Just the content, the context of that has lie written all over it, because it says all of our history was just a fucking farce, that black men and black women never bound together to try to fight against a common enemy back in Jim Crow or anything else. Women had to take refuge and we could only protect them the best way we could, right? In those circumstances, and we did. And a lot of black men lost their lives trying to protect their families. So all I'm just trying to say is the narrative is being perpetuated. And when I see a man sitting down there shaking his head when the lady said the bullshit that she talked about, right? And just because you have money doesn't mean that you don't need the guy, you don't need to cleave to somebody. The other thing, not the biggest one, the last one, I'm not going to be long-winded on this. These women don't qualify for the men they dream about. They just don't. Right? I mean, first of all, it's a pie in the sky to think that you're going to get a combination of two, the Warren Buffett and Jay-Z. Just saying it is stupid, right? Because they're uncommon men for anybody, even for themselves.
Right.
And so what I'm trying to say is, why would they pick some asshole like you? Why? And one of the things that I really burns me is women never talk about what they are going to do to deserve a man like that. They never say it, right? And nobody challenges them on it. And that guy's sitting there. I've seen him in other podcasts, eight at the round table, and he sits there. Sometimes he's cogent, and sometimes he's just like he's clueless. And that was a point where I would have challenged her ass up and down. What are you talking about? You know? So anyway, so that's it. I mean, I hate these kind of back and forth. Nobody challenges the women and the fact that they're idiots. And I have stuff for a lot of other guys. I have stuff for men too. Because I talked to you before in the back chat, and I swear I'm going to end it on here.
Right.
I was there. When I hear people telling us how fucked up we were as baby boomers and this and that, I was there. I mean, I was actually literally fucking living it. And I'm listening to people who can't fucking even balance a checkbook telling me how fucked up we are. I mean, I was, anyway, man. God damn. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Trey, it's on you, man.
Yeah, 2 points I want to bring up
out
of all the BS that she said. Number one, the reason why women were relegated to domestic duties is because you didn't want to go fight in a war. Because you didn't want to sign up for selective service and be drafted is the reason why your voting privileges were held for such a long time before they were finally given to you. Is because you didn't want to vote. You didn't want to go into the war. You didn't want to be drafted. We still deal with that today. 18 to 26-year-old men are no longer have the option. It's mandatory now. I don't hear the feminists marching. I don't see them out on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue marching, talking about being fair. So that's number one. That's why women had to stick with domestic duties. And as far as I'm concerned, you get in where you fit in. You make money to support your family however you can. That's how it works. Number two, you want to know why a lot of black women can't deal with a man who is the combination of Jay-Z and Warren Buffett, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. There are men out here that wake up every morning and put on a suit and they go into the office. They're corporate guys, right? I don't have an issue with that. But you know why women can't get those types of men? Because you don't understand delayed gratification.
Oh,
that's the problem. The problem is that you think that he's supposed to be a billionaire by 30. Let me hip you to something. Jay-Z didn't become a billionaire till 47. Warren Buffett didn't become a billionaire till 56. Are you willing to wait? Are you willing to actually sit there and build with this man while he goes through the trials and tribulations of building an empire? Are you willing to change yourself? I'll give you another example. Eve, the rapper Eve. Could she have been the same person married to Maximilian? No, she could not. She had to change everything, because you know why? At some point in time, he's got to walk into a boardroom and ask investors for millions of dollars. And they're going to look at his wife and go, hell no. Nah. Your wife got paw prints on her titties, and she used to be a stripper. No, we're not working with you. So she had to change her image. Ladies, ask yourself this question. You want a man that's a combination between Jay-Z and Warren Buffett? Are you willing to stop clapping your cheeks on the weekends for Instagram? Are you willing to stop doing bullshit for Instagram? Are you willing to stop self-worshiping on Instagram? Because you can't help him get to the money if you are an embarrassment and to him. He cannot walk into a boardroom and convince a room full of investors to work with him, to invest in him, if you are his wife and you're an embarrassment. R. Payne said it. Y'all aren't qualified for those types of men because you don't understand what it takes. And lastly, I'll say, do you know how to shut up? You're going to go to a lot of...
Trey, no, you went out, man. Hold on a second. Did you say we got to know how to what?
You're still there.
No, I said you got to learn how to shut up.
Did you hear what I said? That's what I thought you said, but go ahead.
Because you're going to go to a lot of mixers, you know, those mixers where people walk around with hors d'oeuvres and they pour a little champagne in your flute. It's not a glass, by the way. It's a champagne flute. For those of y'all didn't know, they're going to pour champagne in your flute. Do you know how to shut up and smile and be pretty? Or are you going to say some ratchet, nasty, dumb shit that's going to embarrass that man and cost him millions of dollars? See, a lot of y'all not ready for that life. What the other races know how to do is shut the fuck up. They know how to be quiet and let their man go get to the money. And they do whatever he needs them to do. If he says, hey, I need you to go over there and go chat up this man's wife, because I need an investment for him. She knows exactly what to do. She knows exactly what to say. She knows how to compliment that woman on her dress so she can go back and go say, hey, I met such and such's wife. She was lovely. You should think about working with him. A lot of y'all don't understand how this game is played and how the critical, essential component you as a woman, you play. Y'all don't get it. You want a Jay-Z and Warren Buffett, you got to ask yourself a question. Are you the type of person that can help that man when he starts to hit 45 and above, get to those plateaus that you want so badly? Because they're not coming at 21, 25, and 30. It just doesn't work that way.
Trey, let me ask you a question, and maybe you can shed some light on it. Why don't these guys that are in these places want single men around their wives?
Because they know their wives. They know their wives.
Right. So they don't trust. They don't trust guys.
They know we're not about to sit here and act like the homemaker that's with the millionaire billionaire ain't fucking a pool boy or the handyman around the house. They know their wives when they go away on business. They know. So no, they don't want single men around because single men could not necessarily be a threat to their business, but be a threat to the marriage, which could affect their business down the line. So that's really what it is. They don't want the single men around unless there's more benefit to him. Then okay, well, fine. If she divorced me, no big deal. I'm gonna make a ton of money off of this anyway.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. Most women be like, well, what if I was the person in these rooms? How would they benefit? How would these guys in these rooms benefit from a single woman in these situations?
Single women in these situations is fine. There's no real issue. The only problem with single women is sometimes they get the moniker of having been slept their way to those positions. Ooh. That's the only problem. A lot of the times when they step in a room, primarily because a lot of them don't know how to dress conservatively, so they walk into these boardrooms with these short skirts on. And the men there aren't thinking about the business. They're thinking about if they can smash her. And so the question remains is, well, how did you get to this point? How did you get this high up in the corporate level? If you watch, there's a movie with Tyler Perry and Robin Givens plays the part. And she says to Sanaa Lathan, I didn't fuck my way to the top like most women. Wow. She worked hard to get there. So there's no issue with women being single and being in business and getting to the money. Nobody has a problem with that. But the problem is when you got to go in these rooms, and we're talking about tightwads. I don't know if y'all know, but extremely rich men are cheap. They're cheap as fuck. I don't know if you guys watch Ben Mala. I watch Ben Mala. This man tries to get money off of everything. He's got a net worth of almost $500 million. He's trying to get money out of it. He's trying to save every penny.
Trey, ain't the old saying that you don't get rich trying to spend money?
No, you get rich by saving it, keeping it, and investing it.
Teach.
And this goes to Groomman's point. The woman you want around, she knows how to take that money and invest it. This is why, while I don't like Gucci Mane, I give him a lot of credit for the woman he chose, because the woman he chose knew what to do with the money when he left it to her, and what she did was give him more back than what he gave her.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's smart. That's brilliant. That's the type of woman you want around.
I'm more surprised that we agreed on something for once.
Go ahead and tell them why you agree, Grumman.
We agree because he hit right in a point. Like, a woman who knows how to invest, who can multiply something. The sky's the limits at that point. He's right in every single point. I'm surprised we actually do agree on something for once.
You know what? Here's the thing. I see people in the chat like Anissa saying, hey, Jay-Z not worrying about his wife spending $300. That's not the point. As you can see, these billionaires, you see for a fact these billionaires ain't trying to throw away no money, especially a windfall. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I got this out of nowhere. What can I put this to work for me? You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff we talking about. At this point, we talking about instincts. You see what I'm saying? So the first time when you got lucky, you got the $300. You know what I mean? You didn't require instincts because it was just there. You picked it up. You just so happened to have it. But now that you got it, what does your instincts tell you to do? Do you gamble it or do you take a risk? You know what I'm saying? Or do you just bring back what you had? You know what I mean? Either way it go, if you had kept the money, you would have had a hell of a story. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you about these two women who was at the store. One of them got $100. The next one got $200. Guess what, babe? I got $300. And then they tried to talk me out of my $300. Well, the next one said that she wanted to pull it, and guess what? She got $20. See, I'm smarter than the rest of these chicks. But she can't tell that story.
Did you hear what I said?
You know what I'm saying? She can't tell that story. She got to come home and be like, babe, I got $20. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be like, that's good. But she ain't gonna tell him that she lost the other, the rest of the monies. You know what I'm saying? The $300 that she could have had, that ain't gonna be a part of the story. We talking about instincts at this particular point in time. Now, as far as the video that we just watched, I think a lot of times we need to start challenging some of this stuff that we hear. You know what I mean? One of the things that keeps sticking out to me is this thing that men were abusing women. Nobody wants to touch that thing. You know what I mean? Our Pain grew up around by that time. Our Pain, I promise you, Rick will tell you, men were not whooping women's asses in mass.
You hear what I said?
I mean, my thing is this came from the era where they had doo-wop. You know what I'm saying? And they had R&B music. If anything, they was out here making love. You know what I'm saying? They was out here, making babies. All the Jodises, you know what I mean? The Luther Vandross, the Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know what I mean? My thing is this: all of that stuff came out of Era of Love. I can't imagine that you could be singing Earth, Wind, and Fire to your woman and then you end up beating her.
Did you hear what I said?
To me, that don't make sense in mass. If that was the case, you'll have more men in jail, and it'll be an easier reason to haul them off to jail for stupid stuff like drugs or alcohol or whatever it is. This is domestic violence. You beat your wife. And I think we probably need to call that particular talking point to the carpet. You see what I'm saying? Because Our Pain will tell you. Our Pain, let me ask you, did you see men beating women on a regular basis?
Well, no, here's the way I would answer that is, if you ask me if there was domestic violence, of course there was. Yeah. But I would say that there's probably more of that today than was back then. I think men were more dedicated to their families, bringing home what little bread they had to make sure their kids had something to eat. And the women were involved from the standpoint that these are their kids and they're trying to build something under the oppression of what was going on from Jim Crow and everything else. Right. And so did some guys get frustrated and slap around their wives? Probably, but I don't think it was any more outside of the bounds of men, even white men or any other men doing it, right? It was wrong then and it's wrong now. But I don't see so I'm not going to say there wasn't any, but I don't see it was
in mass
not like it is today.
Yeah,
right now everything's abuse today. You can't even talk to a woman if she cries. She's just talking about abuse. It's just bullshit, man.
Yeah.
It's absolute bullshit. So yeah, some abuse, but for the most part, people were dedicated to their families. That's why marriages last till death do they part. They just did.
I think one of the things that single men, when you're vetting a woman, you have to determine whether or not she has a victim mentality. We have a lot of women who run around here with a victim mentality, and because it makes them feel good. Was there domestic violence back then? Of course. I don't think anybody's denying that. But were men coming home and just beating the absolute snot out of their wife for the hell of it? It's utterly ridiculous to even think that. It's just ridiculous to even think that, because they don't do it now. They weren't doing it then. And I have to go look it up, but I believe the domestic violence numbers are actually down in comparison. I know we just had a 15% overall decrease in crime across the nation this year. So I would imagine the numbers are actually down. But this idea that men are just going around beating up women because, my coffee was too hot, that's fucking ridiculous. That's utterly ridiculous. That's not how it works. But then when you have women, when you deal with these women that have this victim mentality and everything's always a problem and woe is me and somebody did something to me, you have to identify these women and get the hell away from them.
Let's put this. Let's put again. I'm gonna show y'all how they attach, right to the pain that doesn't belong to them. When did can anybody Google for me, because I'm too lazy right now? Can anybody Google for me when domestic violence laws first came into effect?
I'm actually already working on it. Give me a few minutes.
What's good, Tommy?
What's up, y'all?
Oh. Wait a minute. Is this correct, Rick? 1994? Is that correct?
Yes.
1994.
Was that after OJ?
I don't know, man. It might have been.
I know they started getting crazy after OJ. It was like you couldn't even breathe on a woman after OJ.
Maybe I asked the question wrong.
It depends on what you determine as domestic violence. Domestic violence has a large
right, exactly.
Now,
exactly.
back then they used to call it. I think they just called it wife beating.
Yeah, that's what they used to call it.
Yeah, they just call it wife beating, and that was illegal in 1920. That's 1920. Almost
Okay,
100 years ago.
Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about that, right? In 1920, even today, who's the minority in America?
We are.
When did America ever make laws according to the minority?
Never.
So if the majority, the domestic violence laws was initiated and put into place to cover the majority of men, who are the majority of men in America?
White men.
Right.
Domestic violence laws were put in because white men were beating their women.
Specifically Italian men too.
Because culturally it was accepted. Is that fair to say, grooming and reviews?
Oh, absolutely. Like I can tell you for a fact, like at least my grandfather, that he used to say, his saying was, any man who places a hand on a woman loses respect and you just lost your marriage. That's why, and I know this doesn't sound very racist, but my grandfather never used to hang out with any Italian men in Greece because they were known to beat the shit out of the women.
And these stylish dudes they love, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's Italian made.
I mean, isn't that the whole history of the tank top becoming a wife beater?
Yeah,
it's
man.
because of Italian men wearing them while they was assaulting their wives.
Okay. So let's keep
That's
it
the
there,
uniform,
right?
man.
So yep. So again, listen to the people in the chat, right? No one's saying it didn't exist, but it's the majority that affects change. Right? So again, while it may have happened to someone you know, those were few and far in between. How many of y'all know 3 women that's getting their ass beat right now?
I don't know not a one of them.
And let me give y'all the excuse because y'all gonna do it anyway. Y'all don't know what nobody's going on in nobody's house. That's a fact. That's a fact. But I don't know no woman that's getting her ass whooped on a regular right now. So why are our women so quick to attach to a pain that's not theirs? Y'all, what they do is the black woman's culture, y'all can hate me all y'all want, is to attach to the pain of the white woman. The white woman that y'all suckled their children, that y'all fed their children. That not only did you take care of their homes, you took care of their husbands when the wife was asleep. And these very things these very expectations that y'all put upon your own men, y'all don't put on nobody else. Your man got to be fine. He got to be well-rounded. He got to be brave. He got to have money. But y'all marry a trailer trash white man in a second. Had these dudes looking like they fell out of a comic book. I wish y'all just admit it. Y'all don't love us like we love y'all. The men that find a woman that loves him, you're lucky, bro. Smart and lucky. We got to stop telling lies to each other. If y'all love us like y'all say you do, y'all sure don't move like it. I'll let go of the mic.
Hey, Uncle Rick, did we not just watch a video of a white woman telling a black woman to that you don't need the money? Literally just watched a video of that. Yeah. And to your point, Uncle Rick, they will take a white man who isn't the best, and then they'll create a movement on Instagram and call it hashtag the Black Woman Effect. Look how I changed them. They'll do things like that. So, I mean, to all your points, I mean, cooking with grease.
You know what? How come they don't have a black woman effect with some black dudes? You know what I'm saying? I wonder what that would look like. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Tommy B. What's happening, sir? It's on you, sir. Tommy, you on mute.
Oh no, I was just listening. Everything that Rick was saying, I pretty much I agree with it. It's a lot of stuff that's talked about in general that, like he said, it's talked about through other people's eyes and not through their direct eyes. It's crazy you ask that because as much as you hear about it, when I just sat there and thought about it, I'm like, damn, I don't know nobody that's getting their ass whipped like that. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. But as much as it's talked about, you would think you at least know one. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy because I damn near want to go ask around, you know, the people I know if they know anybody like that. And I almost can guarantee none of them know it.
Right. I think we should probably go around to each house in America and ask the women, are you getting your ass whooped? You know what I'm saying? We need to root out all the guys that's whooping ass that's keeping these women from being married. You know what I'm saying? We need to go ahead and lock them up and throw away the key. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so let me jump in here for 1 second.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay, I want to share a question really fast before we get to my point. Anybody seen the movie called House of Gucci?
No, I hadn't seen that.
Okay, so it's based on the true story of the Gucci family with the fashion and all that stuff. Towards the end of the movie, his ex-wife ends up assassinating him, pay somebody off. So she knew if he kicks a bucket, she gets percentage of the family's business. Do you see why I want to bring this up really fast?
Go ahead.
So my point is going here is that is a perfect story. A woman coming from nothing. He literally raised her up to be this beautiful woman, you know, had everything because he owned Gucci. I mean, if you don't know what Gucci is, you're living on a rock. Even back then, Gucci was always been one of the higher end brands. So he had money. Oh, a poor woman with no money and talent All of a sudden, she's now rich. Now they're going through divorce. She does not want to lose that money. It was all about money for her from the start. So during the divorce, she's not officially divorced with him. She hires somebody to kill him. Obviously, you can see, but she got caught. The guy who killed her rat her out. Imagine if she went through it, all the money she would get. Just think about it. We're just talking about abuse, women getting beat, but the victim, she was playing the victim the whole time to make this poor guy look evil because he had money. Sounds pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right though. I mean, can we put up a Nissa's comment there? The one with the 31%. Do you see it? Well, yeah, that one. Listen, one of the things that a lot. Okay, so we talk about statistics a lot. That 40% that she's talking about, she doesn't say how many of those men who might be beating those black women are white men or lesbians.
Ooh.
Right? The assumption,
or even trans.
That's the assumption that number is black men doing it. It's a bad assumption. Right. We got to go back and find out what the breakdown is, because lesbianism has more DV than anybody else. And there's a lot of black lesbians out there, female lesbians out. Well, I should say female lesbians, but a lot of lesbians, and the divestors are in there too. So we don't know who the demographic of the abusers are, but to assume that it's just black men is not a good assumption.
But I will tell you this: we already know who in the middle of this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Who in the middle of it?
Did you hear what I said?
You know what I'm saying? Look like a common denominator to me. You know what I'm saying? If you have problems,
the LGBTQ community is known to be more violent than a straight community.
I believe.
I worked with a bunch of them, and every few days I'm hearing a story. My other half or my partner beat the shit out of me, or I beat the shit out of them. Why is that okay for a gay couple to do that? Not about a straight couple. I'm not saying a straight couple should do it. I'm not saying that. But they don't get handcuffed or like we do.
Here's my point. My point is, when we have conversations like this, it's the nuance that Arpain pointed out. Let's look at this. Let's look at this for what it is. A lot of times we have stuff like this going on the internet all the time, but we never call it on the carpet. Let's read what it says word for word. It says 31% of women experience domestic violence. Okay, that's one thought. It's 40% for black women, Department of Justice.
So 40% of that 31%?
Yeah. Think about it.
So 40% of that 31%.
No. It's in relationship to what? We don't know if it's in relationship to the whole, or we don't know if it's in relationship to just black women. And either way it goes, that's a big difference. That's a big number. Think about it. 30% of all women. How many women do we have in the United States? Like what, 200? Well, at least say half of it. We got 250, million people in the United States. Half of that is about 100. So I mean, a third of that is like what, 75? 60 to 75 is on a regular basis getting tore out the frame.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of women, man, getting beat up.
I don't even make
so. 2022 is 169.6 million women in the United States.
Yeah. Now divide that by 30%. Let's get 30% of that. I'm finna put this new iPad calculator to the use around here. Go ahead.
That's like roughly 42 or 43 million women. There's no way 43 million women are experiencing domestic violence.
And 40% of those are black women, right? So 40% of that number is black women. They ain't that many black women out there.
Or is it saying that 40% of black women are
because black people only make up a total of 12% of the population.
That's what I'm trying to.
We got to drop that number even lower.
It's just just throwing numbers up there out of context.
There's some other parts of this too.
Go ahead.
A lot of these stats, the call to the police can be considered domestic violence because the abuse case gets opened up. So just because you called the police doesn't mean that you were actually abused. When they get there, if they find that there was nothing there, nobody gets arrested, nothing happens, they move on. But that will still count as a statistic. That's number one. Number two, different types of abuse: financial, emotional, verbal, right, and physical. So you have no idea which one it actually is and where it actually fits, right? The other part of this is too that these same numbers that Anissa conveniently leaves out is that the opposite number of how many women actually commit domestic violence as well. While they're inside of these relationships. The fact of the matter is, if you put two people together long enough, some shit gonna go down. That's just the truth. It is what it is. And I don't care if they're brothers, they could be sisters, cousins, it doesn't matter. But if you put two people in there, you add in sex, you add in social media, you add in love and marriage, you add in money, children, responsibilities, shit is bound to go down at some point in time. It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
And let me ask this question, Trey. Does domestic violence include the category domestic disturbance?
Yeah, in most states, yeah. They call it all types of things, Rick. Domestic disturbance, family altercations, intra-family incidents. I mean, they got all kinds of names for this, but they all fit under domestic violence.
Right. So question, Trey, you being a former law enforcement officer, let's say I lock my wife in the bathroom. Is that considered domestic violence?
Yes, because that's your intimate partner.
Let me ask you this, Trey. If you lock yourself in the bathroom, would that be considered domestic violence?
Right. It depends on why you locked yourself in the bathroom.
I'm just saying, man.
If you're trying to get away from, if you're trying to get away from yourself, if you saying I sought refuge in the bathroom to get away from her because she was going crazy, yeah.
Sure, let me ask you this question, because this has been a question I've been asking you for a while now. I don't know if you know my backstory about my ex being very abusive towards me. So she ended up throwing a garden scissor at me one night. Cops showed up. They looked at my hand, see if I hit her, yada yada. He saw my back was sliced open. The cops let her go. Said, not even a ticket, not even a slap on the wrist. Is that protocol, or is just a cop being fucking lazy?
That's a hard question for me to answer because I wasn't there. I don't know what you said to the officers when they asked you what happened, and I don't know what she said to the officers when they asked her what happened. All you're telling me is that you were injured, right? And in most cases, if the shoe were on the other foot and she had an injury, you probably would get arrested. So in that particular case, if you suffered an injury, then but what state is this, by the way?
Pennsylvania. And she admitted she threw it at me, by the way. She admitted a cop. I threw at him. She said,
what's the DV protocol? Like, for instance, where I am in Maryland, you have to go get your own warrant for domestic violence. So what's the what's the protocol in Pennsylvania? Because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people will call the police, and in Maryland, they expect somebody to get arrested. And it just doesn't work like that most times.
Well, from my understanding, the protocol here, if you call an officer at the scene for domestic violence, they should be arrested, from my understanding correctly.
Well, it's got to be deeper than that, because they got to find probable cause to arrest somebody. That's why I'm asking.
Of course, like if you, let's say you beat the shit out of you, there are actual evidence there. To, not like, oh, you just making a bullshit call. Actual evidence, like my back was sliced open, but from the garden scissor, he didn't want to do it.
Let me ask you this question, Groma. Did you follow up at all?
Oh yeah, I did follow up with the cop and everything. And he goes to me, bro, she was just drunk. What's the big deal? That's the exact words he said to me.
Did you follow up with his supervisor?
That I did not do.
And that's a lot of the issue with us as men. We let it go. We just let it go. All right, it's too much work. They ain't do their job. Obviously, it sounds like the officers didn't do their job here, right? If there was probable cause to make an arrest, they should have made an arrest. That sounds like they didn't do their job. But us as men, the system, it works both ways. You guys can have women arrested. It does work that way. You can get warrants on women and have them arrested for domestic violence issues. If she comes and she decides to destroy your car, that's domestic violence in most states, because you were together. Y'all used to be together. That means that's a domestic violence. That's destruction of property, and it's domestic violence. But most guys, nah, it's all right, cool. I don't want to do nothing. I can't tell you how many things I've been on. Hey, what you want to do with this? Nah, it's cool. Don't even worry about it. It's like, and I'm be in my head like, but I can't coerce you into doing anything because that's illegal. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, come on, bro. She destroyed your car. Like, let me get a warrant. Let me go arrest her. Nah, it's all right. Women be acting crazy. You know how they are. We got to follow up, especially if you're not getting the cooperation from law enforcement like you should. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. A lot of law enforcement agencies, even the one I was on, have an archaic mindset that the woman is always the victim. It's hard for them to get out of that. That they show up to a lot of scenes and she's hysterical and she's frantic and, oh my God, and he did this. But when you actually do the investigation, you find out this woman is a demon. And she started this shit. And she should be the one to getting arrested. But because a lot of, especially down south, I feel bad for you guys down south. Down south, they still have that mentality where the woman, you know, they kicking men out their own homes, telling them they can't come back into their house. I'm like, she's the problem. Arrest her. So you guys got to stay on their ass and make them do their job.
Well,
and you shouldn't have to be fair. You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to. Exactly.
That's just the way
it is what it is. It is what it is, right?
I'll give you a good example. Instead of Pennsylvania, and like an restraining order, we call it PFA here. You can only get it on your wife or a ex girlfriend. Like for example, if you want to get a PFA because somebody's stalking you, cannot get a PFA for that. An restraining order instead of Pennsylvania for that. It has to be a romantic relationship to get in restraining order. That's the only way, or something with kids involved, of course.
So I just find it interesting that they only show the women's stats.
And, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, right? Like I said, I live in the real world. I understand how everybody want to play. Like the numbers are golden. They're not. Stats are there for a reason, so they can be manipulated.
Right.
So 31% of women, right, throughout the U.S. How many of those women were lies?
More than half.
Because growing up, right, the fastest way I seen for a man to get put out a house for the woman to call the police and say he jumped her.
Or at least threaten to call the police. You know what I'm saying?
No, but
how many threats did we have?
And again, I'm talking to my sister in the chat. We're not saying it doesn't exist. That would be a lie. What I'm saying is that you guys use these numbers as if this is the actual fact of what's happening. This is what's crazy. Let me tell y'all a story real quick, if y'all don't mind. And whoever told the story before, whatever, right? When I was in Georgia, I was messing with this chick. The chick loved to fight. Being the lessons that I learned, y'all know it. Hey, hold her, tell her stop, keep her off you. Right? The day I finally got sick of her trying to fight me and I went to leave, she stabbed me. Right? I woke up 3 days later in the hospital. And the cops were still trying to charge me. The only reason I didn't get charged for a DV is because my neighbors heard us arguing. She got 8 years for attempted. But the default is exactly like Trey says. When cops are sent out or dispatched to an apartment, the man is initially the blame. I don't know how many times I could tell you a story. I could tell you at least 4 stories of young men, right, who got the cops call on them when they didn't lay a hand on a woman and end up going to anger management class because some woman said he hit her. We got to stop holding on to these lies. We got to stop holding on to these lies. A woman can hurt you. And nobody's saying this in particular. We're talking about the general populace. Everybody here on YouTube believes they're an exception to the rule. So you tell me every single stand-up woman you know, everybody in your circle just happens to be stand-up. Y'all know people not living like that. Y'all know people not operating like that. That's the reason why most of y'all in the house on YouTube all the time, because y'all don't fuck with people because y'all know most people is shady. But as long as it supports your argument to be right, you will spew these stats and you will try to play blind to the things that really go on in a relationship between two people. I don't know how many men I done seen on the street holding their girl back because she's spazzing. In all my days, I seen one man whooping a woman down. And like I said, by the time she seen it, it was too late for her. By the time she realized that man wasn't playing, it was too late for her. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that's what happened. So y'all keep living in these kid dreams if y'all want to. Keep on. That's all I got.
Yeah, I had a auntie. Her and her dude got into it, and she went around hitting her head on the wall and took some scissors, cut her shirt up, and called the police. Police got there, and I had to pull them to the side and be like, man, that man ain't touch her. But if I didn't do that, he'd have been going down for the same shit, domestic violence. And I mean, all the evidence shows she had her ass whooped and stuff. So, yeah, it definitely
So
happened.
basically, if you wasn't there, he would have been up the creek.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Like I literally had to pull him to the side and say, "Hey, man, she did all that shit to herself."
She pulled a thin line between love and hate.
Yep.
Which is a real thing, by the way. I worked those cases where women have beat themselves up. I actually worked a case. This is a true story. I worked a case where a woman ran out in front of a car. She ran out in front of a car. She had called, serious, true story. She had called to say her boyfriend had beat her up. Well, as I was pulling up, she ran out into the front, in the middle of the street in front of a car, got hit by a car, and was trying to tell me, mind you, I saw it, trying to tell me that her boyfriend hit her with a car. And I'm like, you know, I saw you run into the street. Like, I watched you. So she lost her credibility right then and there. Listen, I gotta be honest with you. I don't have the answer for, why the system is the way that it is. I was just fortunate enough to work in a place where it was a little bit more balanced. But I know a lot of you guys, you're in different states, and that's just the way it's always been, and they ain't gonna change no time soon for whatever reason. And which means that you got to do a little bit more to protect yourself. And this is why the vetting a woman and finding out if she has that victim mentality and, he's going to hurt me. And, if they spewing things about, women get beat up and stuff, you probably need to leave her alone. If she already has that mentality that, women get beat, probably want to leave her alone.
You know what? My thing is this, all these stories that women tell that they've seen or heard about a man, beating a woman. How come you didn't go out there and help your sister?
Did you hear what I said?
You know what I'm saying? How come the sisterhood is strong, except for when it come time to, when they sister getting beat up, since y'all done seen it so much. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes we got to call some of this stuff to the carpet, man. Think about it. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense at all. And just like the same way where they was talking about, these women couldn't spend money or have bank accounts and all this other stuff. Man, women been hustling, man, since day one. Think about it, our pain. We came up, man, we had more seamstresses than we do right now. You know why? Because that was the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Women made their own clothes. They repaired their own clothes. Everybody had a sewing machine. Hell, I got one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the thing about it is that you don't see that anymore. It's not a sexy profession. You know what I'm saying? Now think about it. If you try to find a seamstress right now, it'll be harder to find a seamstress than it is to find a good man.
Did you hear what I said?
You know what I'm saying? It's one in a million, man. Think about it. I'm gonna challenge y'all to find somebody to alter your suit. You buy a new suit. See if you can find your seamstress and see how many you run across.
You actually gotta go back to the boomers to find one, or the Gen X's to find one. My wife is a seamstress, and she knows how. She got a sewing machine and everything. She whips it out once in a blue moon because they don't have to do it now. But it's funny about the bank account and stuff that the women talk about credit and all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Well, let's fast forward to 2024. How well have y'all done being in charge of the money? How well have y'all done being in charge of the money? Now, there's some astute women with money, but the rank and file sisters are underwater when it comes to budgeting and everything else. Loans, crazy ass loans for shit that you can't get a return on investment. Buying houses when it's just you and no family, and you can't afford that because you didn't take into account the insurance and the maintenance and all the other shit. And you got a job that's shaky at best, and they told you that you're a little bit, to maximize the loan you take out. I mean, it's just all over the place. So it's like there's no sense in I can't want to say complaining about it, but recognize you got all of this freedom now, and look what you're doing with it. Look, when you're the most evicted, most. I mean, so the stats are people try to make the stats make them feel good, but the sisters are in trouble. They're in trouble for the rent.
Yeah,
they're in trouble financially for sure. Go ahead, I'm done.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I do want to say, because I don't want to make it seem like I have seen my fair share of women get their ass whooped. I mean, just coming from where I'm from, I had a neighbor downstairs that I remember I went to go take out the trash, and I mean, I'm gonna just say in that situation, I don't know who started what, but I just know she was in there getting worn out. I had an uncle, you feel me, they used to, knock my auntie around. So I don't want to make it seem like I've just never seen this happen before. But I also have a brother that got stabbed through the jaw, and she did 0 jail time because he didn't say nothing. I also have, I'll just say, another family member who shot her boyfriend with a 45, and he lied to the police and told him he shot himself. And so that was never reported, So I've seen both sides of it, you know what I'm saying?
I'll give you an even better example. My cousin got beat up on one of his exes, went to court and everything, and the judge laughed at him. He goes, and dismissed the case right out the window. He goes, because my cousin's 6'5", she's 4'2", maybe 120. He's close to 250. He laughed at him. He goes, that serious? He goes, I'm not gonna bother. He dismissed the case. So you telling me that's okay?
You'd be surprised, man. It happens more than you think.
Oh, of course, I believe that.
They believe in weight class around here, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's in New Jersey, actually.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Trey Ferg. Trey, I seen you out in them streets, man.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing? Yes, sir. I was out there, man. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow.
Man, how was the concert?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty nice, man. It was pretty nice. Of course, it's over now, but I got to see all the little young, I don't know what to call them, all the young guys.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the grown folk night. I'll be in the platinum section tomorrow. So with Charlie Wilson and all them. So
there you go.
I forget who else is coming, but it's gonna be nice. Yeah, I was just listening in, man. Towards the end, man. It's I don't know, man. I guess I can empathize with you guys, man, as far as how the interactions with women have been over the lifetime, man. I've had a similar experience where a young lady was trying to ruin my whole career. And she was saying that I was doing all these things and stalking her and all this. Luckily, the time that she was saying, my company that I was working for had took us out on an event that night. So I was out all night with the female I was dating, my supervisor and owner of the company. And we all were out all night. And she tried to put the time that I was with them, that I was over her house, which would have been like 30 miles away. I was sitting out there stalking her, doing all these, calling her from jail on a burner phone. She had a son come to court and testify. Everything was a lie, man. Everything. I was just lucky that I had those people there that could vouch for me, man, because I was like, what the hell? That shit was throwing me for a loop, man, because I never had that type of experience, man. I was like, what the fuck? And, man, so, man, yeah, man, we got to protect ourselves, man, especially going forward, man, because these females, man, they using their privilege, and it'll ruin somebody's life, man. So just protect yourself, man. Learn the laws in your state, man. Teach them to our sons and our daughters, even the dog, everybody got to know the law now, man, because this shit's scary, man. They trying to take us out any way possible. So,
you know, my whole thing is this, man. It's one of those situations, man. You really don't know what to believe. You know what I mean? And it's always somebody word over somebody else's word, especially if you can't see it. You know what I mean? So that's just my whole thing, man. I think Hink was in here a minute ago. I think he dropped off. Hink, if you can hear us, come on back, brother. You know what I mean? Ghetto point of view, what did you think, man, of the video, brother? I know it's been a minute since thing around robbing it, man, but what did you think?
I mean, this again, I don't really see anything productive that was coming from what sister was saying. And as so many people on the panel said, like, there's got to be some type of checks and balances when people are making these statements on these panels, in these discussions, because people really do genuinely listen in for some type of edification, some type of information. Everybody ain't just listening in for the entertainment. You got a lot of people listening just to laugh and joke, but you have people who genuinely want help, like want to learn something. And at those times, it'd be good to just have somebody check and be like, hold up, wait, let's just make sure we really telling the people something they can take away that's tangible, while we have fun, while we joke, while we argue, while we talk out ish. You know, let's just make sure we give them a little gem or two. But they don't really be doing that. Just my humble perspective.
Absolutely. What Trey at? Trey, let me ask you a question. Trey Taylor, is it true that some jobs you can't get if you got DV on your record, man?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I thought so.
Especially in the jobs where you're going to be working with children.
So it would be to men's best interest not to mess with their income. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. So
security clearances too.
Yeah,
that's correct. Yep. Security clearances.
So if you factor all of that in, you know what I mean? To me, it just doesn't see. There's no benefit for men to whoop on women. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it. I don't see it. Now, here's the thing: we already know there's people that's not wrapped too tight, but I'm just saying there's a whole lot of things that are in place for a man not to do that than it is for him to try to get away with something like that.
I think when we're talking about intention, I don't believe. Listen, I got to be fair here. I've worked plenty of cases where the dude did beat the hell out of the woman. I got to be fair about that, right? There's plenty of them cases where nope, he beat her. They got into an argument. He couldn't take it anymore. Maybe she called him a bitch ass nigga or something crazy, and the rest, as they say, is history, right? Those cases do happen, but I just find it very hard to believe that men who get up every day, work a 9 to 5, are preparing for a future, want to retire, got a pension on the line, all these things, are willing to put it on the line in a manner in which they catch a charge. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I also do know that there are some men who lose it. They lose control sometimes. It happens. Especially, and I'm gonna tell you something. This is one of the reasons why I'm very big on don't be vulnerable with women. There's a lot of them times that I worked in cases, it was because she hit below the belt. She said something that he told her in confidence. I remember one case particularly, he talked about being molested when he was younger by his aunt. And I guess he had a certain sort of sexual kink that he liked. And when they got into an argument, she brought it up. But that's why you like, I'll just say for the record, that's why you like a finger in the boot or something like that. That's why you like that. And he lost it, right? But he lost it because he told her something, you know what I mean, in confidence, and he felt like he could trust her and he couldn't trust her. And he did. I mean, he beat her pretty badly, right? So those do happen. Those do happen. And there are times where men do lose control. But is that a majority of men? Are there a majority of hardworking men? I would believe no. I don't think that's the truth.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question here now.
Hold on a second. I'm going to welcome Hank to the show. Hank, welcome to the show, sir. I want to make sure you get him in. You know what I'm saying? What's happening, Hank, man? What's going on, brother?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
What's going on? Doing good.
Good.
What's going on? Talk to us, Hank.
Man, slow motion. Shit, I'm just tuning in, so I'm just listening. I'm just listening right now. I mean, but it sound rough what I'm hearing. So, god damn. But I'm very man support. You know, I just want to make sure I ain't been over here on the Friday in a long time, so I just make sure my plate's still good. Y'all didn't break my plate, not allow me in no more to break bread with you fellas. That's all.
Man, Hank, you know you home, man. Come on back. Ain't that what your boy said on Hustle and Flow? Told Skinny, come on back home, Skinny. Well, Hank, what you think about it? I don't want people to think that we're being nonchalant when it comes to domestic violence, but sometimes we got to question things, man, to the validity of the volume that people use it to make a decision on whether or not for them to be married or not. You see what I'm saying? And I think sometimes women just would say things like, you know, I'm not getting married because my husband will beat on you. Well, to my thing is, don't get somebody who has the proclivity to beat on you.
Did you hear what I said?
You know what I'm saying? Y'all like these hyper aggressive men. You know what I'm saying? That you know, you know, you kind of got to look at what you're choosing, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want women to. I really want what's best for women at heart. But my thing is, we got to help them get over that fear, man. You know what I'm saying? And by them telling and weaving these stories of men being these violent people, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't help them at all in the long run. And usually they don't find out until they get by Vivica age. You know, Vivica A. Fox age by 60, and then she all of a sudden, y'all, send me a man. You know, I don't do no apps, and I just want you to send my high value man to the front of the line. Forget all the rest of you chicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm Vivica Fox, so I should get the first pickings of all the men. Put my Idris Elba in the pot first. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that to happen to sisters, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to happen sooner than later for them. So what do you got to say to that, man?
Man, fellas, just choose wisely, man. When you deal with certain individual type women, I mean, just hearing the stories, man. I guess y'all talking about how some of these guys got caught up on some bullshit. Yeah, that's rough, man. I mean, look, I don't know if y'all knows the story about that young man from University of Illinois. He just got found not guilty, man, falsely accused. Yeah, you know, for something heinous, man, but it's gonna cost him a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Cost him half his basketball season. You know, so he missing on NIL money. And could cost him in the draft because, you know, that stigma is still there. You know how it is. They put the bad news on the front page, but that apology, you know, it's behind the comics. You know what I'm saying? So you got situations like that. Just, fellas, just choose wisely, man. Just be careful what you choose and what you get with and who you choose to have a relationship, man, because you got some wicked heifers out here, man. They don't mean you no good. As far as the domestic violence situation, you know, I never had that situation personally myself, but I've seen family members go through it. You know what I'm saying? But I seen it both ways, right? And one time was with my daughter. So she told me her boyfriend did what, but I know my daughter, right? I know she's got a quick switch just like I did when I was about her age, and I'll be ready to go. And so I had to kind of question and challenge on that, you know. So what did you do? You know, she was mad at me, man, probably about a month or so because I didn't just take her word for it. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up going over to Dude's house. I didn't tell her this. I ended up going over to Dude's house and asking him and talking to him. I said, man, what happened? I said, why is my daughter got a bruise on her neck? Well, I'm looking at him. He got his scratches on his face. You know, his eyes look dark. So I'm asking him. I said, man, what happened? So I'm thinking, you know, she was just defending herself. That's how he got there. He said, no, that's not how it happened. He said, I got 2 witnesses that proved it. And I'm not charging her. I said, I appreciate you not doing that, not taking to that. I said, y'all just need to stay away from each other. It's obvious y'all don't need to be together. Now, fortunate enough, it wasn't no situation where she kept going back to a volatile situation. It was at one time, it was it. But she put a battery in my back. Let me know, Daddy, man hit me. Well, you know, as a father, you're going to go into protection mode. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we do. And so, but then I had to stop. I said, who am I talking to? And I got to look at who am I talking? I'm talking to my daughter. And I know how she gets when she gets mad at me when I don't give her her way. She gets to talking and acting crazy and hanging up on me. Oh, okay, yeah. Let me go find out what really would happen. So I had to go investigate. You know what I'm saying? But situation like that, having my daughter, it wasn't really. I guess it was considered mutual. I guess that's probably what they would call it. But you know, it could have went. It could have went either way, man. It could have went really bad. You know, for like I said, she stayed away from them. They didn't get together ever since then, and I'm glad and happy for them because they both wasn't good for each other, especially when hands being put on them. But I see my cousin go to a situation where, unfortunately, it was a white woman. He loved the snow bunnies, and she lied on him. And told him that he beat her up, and that wasn't the case. Told he pushed her down steps. That wasn't the case. But the cops came over. He got arrested. He spent a couple of days in jail over that bullshit. And okay, she cleaned up and went and told the truth. But what if she didn't? What if she wrote that story all the way out? How bad that could have been for him. You know what I'm saying? Missed a couple of days of work. You know what I'm saying? His coworkers look at him side-eye, looking at him that he really probably did it. Because, he could get angry sometimes. He has his moments. But he's not a woman beater. He don't hit on women. He might fight with another dude on the job, but he's not gonna fight a woman. And it's not his MO. But when you already got that volatile, demeanor about you, demonstrative demeanor about you, they just assuming what was said was true. And then this precious looking white woman said it, so it has to be true. He spent a couple of days in jail. It has to be true. Until it wasn't. But guess what? With no apologies. I mean, well, she apologized, but the co-workers didn't apologize for them being wrong or saying something to him or being accused to him and try to paint him in a bad light. So but you got situations like that, man. So fellas, just be careful on who you pick, man. Be careful on who you pick.
Yeah, I think that go both ways, man. You know what I'm saying? We always telling the women you need to choose better. You know what I'm saying? But fellas, sometimes you got to choose better too. You know what I mean? And we tell people you need to be better, but if your picker still broke, and you didn't chose better, it don't really matter. You got to put better and better together. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that right, Rick?
Yeah, listen, let me just say this real quick. One of the things that we don't talk about enough, it'll be quick, is that it's true that as far as apex creatures on the earth, that men are probably the biggest apex predators against women when it happens. But what we don't talk about is that a woman is the biggest apex predator against men on the face of the earth. That lady you sleep next to, so it goes both ways. I mean, nobody can hurt a man as much as a woman can. Jeez. I'm not sure, you know what I'm saying? And it might not be all physical, but we're living through the times, and I don't know when it wasn't like this. When they say something, people are inclined to believe that you're the guilty party. And women know that they could destroy a man's life with just a word. With just a word. And so I don't even know how you defend yourself against that shit.
Take it back, Trey Ferg. I'm off up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. So that's it. I mean, there's got men who don't want to get on elevators with women. If it's just you and her, you wait for the next one. If you're a CEO, you're not going to let a woman come in and close the door into your office. Right, you got to have witness. I mean, the way it is now, you can't be too sure. One word, and your life could be over.
That reminds me of that joke. Patrice O'Neal was like, "Yeah, I'd rather get bitten by a lady shark." You know what I'm saying? A shark is a shark, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a lady shark or a man shark, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Trey Ferg.
I mean, listen, man, what everybody's saying, man, I can understand the sensitivity of the subject, and I think it's a good conversation to try to, have at certain times, because as you see, men go through stuff and it may not be really exposed at any point in their life, and they'll just hold it in, and then you can see when certain things happen, it can just all be unleashed at one time, and those consequences can be deadly. So yeah, man, I think it's a good conversation for the younger guys to sort of tap into, so they can just start seeing a better picture of how they can move out here when dealing with these women, man, because right now that shit look great. It's a little scary out here for these young guys. So, and I do want to say this. We have 2 sewing machines. My wife got one and I have one. And she always thinks she can out-sew me, but I don't know. I'm a Gen X. I had home ec. I learned how to sew with the buttons and all that shit. Cut your pattern. So we'll see, man. Yeah.
That's right, man. I think Gen X was the last generation that had sewing machines, man. What you think?
Probably.
Hey, Lit, one of the biggest issues, though, is that the stigma around when a man is accused, whether he's found innocent or guilty, there's always a stigma that has a tendency to follow. And this is something that doesn't follow women. And I'll give you just a quick, simple example. The Boston Celtics won championship. Jaylen Brown is dating a chick that plays in the WNBA. Well, this is the same woman that called the police and had Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested on an assault charge. And she claimed that she told the police that she never reported that. That can't be true. That just can't be true. They got there. They somebody called somebody and said, sounds like you guys are having a fight. And somebody was arrested, right? But she claims. But the thing is there's never going to be the fact that she may have possibly lied. That's not going to follow her, right? But if they came to find out that he had beat the piss out of her, that follows him for the rest of his life, even if it were true or not. It's always going to follow him. Hank brought up the guy from Illinois. One of the things that they didn't talk about is they found 5 different semen samples in her panties, and none of them were his. That's number one. Number two, they also pulled the text messages where they celebrated after he was arrested, saying we got him, using the money signs and all this stuff. This whole thing was fabricated from the beginning. It was fabricated from the beginning. It's not only to cost him a lot of money, but he has a stigma. Even though he's innocent, he's been proven innocent, he's been acquitted. It's still going to follow him. It's going to affect him for the rest of his life. That's the biggest issue, is that there's a stigma even when the men have been found not guilty.
That's crazy, man. But I understand what you're saying. But tell women better to be safe than sorry than tell guys, oops, my bad. You know what I mean? That's just how it is sometimes. I got one more video I'm going to share with you guys, man. And
hey, Law, before you go, man, I just want to say, man, salute to y'all, man. It's Friday. Hink, am I going to see you out tomorrow night, man, or what, man? What you doing, man?
Hey, do you got my number? I was going to say, give me a call.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that, man. I'll be at the festival tomorrow, man. So, if you're there, I'll see you. But I'll give you a call, though, for real, for sure. Hey, man, y'all stay up, man, for real, man. I'm going laying down, man. Peace out.
You've been out there in the sun long enough, man. Go and get you some rest.
I'm tan, man.
Thanks for stopping through, man.
You still light skinned, no matter how much.
Yeah, you still light skinned. Don't worry about it.
Light skinned today. God damn
it. That's
Peace,
crazy.
Man.
Appreciate it. Let me go ahead and share this next video, man. Y'all tell me what you think, man.
I am a luxury companion.
A what, honey?
A luxury companion.
Here we go!
Basically, it's kind of like a sugar baby.
So men pay you to spend time with them?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
We're back.
Sorry.
I get paid to go on vacations, go to work events, go to dinner, hang out and stuff.
Do you have sex with them?
Some of them.
Fuck off. Seriously.
What do you do for a living?
I am a luxury companion.
A what, honey?
A luxury companion.
Here we go!
Basically, it's kind of like a sugar baby.
So men pay you to spend time with them?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
We're back.
Sorry.
I get paid to go on vacations, go to work events, go to dinner, hang out and stuff.
Do you have sex with them?
Some of them.
Fuck off. Seriously.
What do you do?
You know what? We back, man. Like I told you, it always comes back to what? Twin in the front and fold in the back. I keep trying to tell y'all, man. Our pain. Come on, man. We're gonna start with you this time, man.
And listen, man, that I don't watch Kendrick that much, but I saw a lot of that on another channel. That conversation was really, really funny, man. And Kendrick, she could make some faces, man. She could really make some faces. But what is there to say? I mean, she's just doing what a lot of modern people do. It's all transactional. She's making money for what she does. That's as simple as that, So, what else can you really say? The problem is that it's not surprising anymore. It's like almost the norm, whether you're organized like she might be or just a regular chick in the street. It's all transactional. Everything is transactional. So that's what it is. I don't have nothing really profound to say. She's a whore.
Ghetto point of view. I see you over there grinning hard as hell, man. Come on.
Yeah, real quick, and then I gotta go because my kids think they slick, and I will hear them in the background.
Gotcha. Talking about these luxury companions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a luxury companion. How's that not just an escort? Like a lot of people in the chat already alluded to it. Like she tried to say it real nice with a bunch of eloquent words, but I mean, that's just the oldest business since the beginning of business, and she ain't doing nothing different. She can dress it up any other way she wants, but as Shakespeare would say, it rolls by any other name. She's still taking them panties off at the end of the transaction. So I don't understand what's going on.
Maybe she do it in a mink coat, man. Maybe that's the part to make it luxurious. You know what I'm saying?
She do it in the shower or the water bed. She can do it anywhere. Still at the end of the transaction, she can have 112 on in the background. It is what it is. What it is. But oh man, listen. I hope she's staying safe and she ain't out here. Tagging on unnecessary problems to the problems she already created for herself. But man, that's crazy. A luxury companion. Shout to her, man. That's ladies. That's what we call it now. We call it luxury companions.
Yeah, that's what they call them, man. They call them luxury companions out here, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
But thank you guys always for so much for the invite up. I really appreciate it, man. I gotta go. I don't know if y'all can hear them. I gotta go get at them real quick. They wilding right now.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming out, man. Hank, man, you ever seen some of these luxury companions, man, in these streets, brother? You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm sure we have. We just didn't know what they was called. So is that the new name for the ladies of the night? Luxury companions.
Clearly, it's ladies of the daytime now. You know what I'm saying? They out in the open now.
As long as the red light's on, it's always on and popping, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
I just got off a cruise, man, and I think I seen a few of them lady companions. They was trying to get with some of the help. And
whoa. They weren't luxurious. They were with the help. Is that what that was?
Yeah, I seen some of the help slide through one time.
What do you call that? Great value companions? Is that what that is?
They must have lowered their standards that day.
Hey,
And they got with the guy. He wasn't even the pool boy. He was a towel guy. He was a guy handing out towel.
He was a guy. But the guy needed a companion
really
too,
They top-notch pool guy, the lifeguard. They got the towel boy.
That's right. The towel boy needs some luxury too. It's clearly, you know what I'm saying?
He came through and I guess gave her what he needed. And she was happy. Man. So look, I'm sure there's a lot of them out there that moves like this now, because they not looking for nothing real relationship. Some of them, they call themselves, they probably at night they are what they call leisure. What do you call them again? Leisure.
Ladies of leisure.
You know what I'm saying?
Ladies of leisure.
Yes.
But during the day, they probably side chicks. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they while the side man is not available and he's with his wife, they got to have something to occupy them, something to keep the time going and make some form of income. So side the lady of leisure title gets popped on like the little red light of the Uber cars. They start making the money, shaking that ass. And people like our Payne come through paying them and
so they're delivering like Uber. That they like the Krispy Kreme, the light on. You know what I'm saying? It's hot and ready now.
Pay them to leave. Pay them to leave.
Come on, Rick. I see you over there grinning, man.
This is hilarious, man.
Yeah, it is.
This is funny, right? It's like when they be like, you watch Kendra's show and they be like, I'm in property management. You work in a rental office. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this is what happened when you give stupid people Chat GPT, man. I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy. I am currently employed at a renowned global quick service restaurant chain where I contribute to the operational efficiency and customer service excellence. You work at McDonald's, bitch.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
Calvin on steroids.
All they do is, like you trying to tell you, all they do is lie, bro. Just be lying for no reason. If you could find a woman that tell the truth, man, you 90% there, bro. You 90% there if she could tell the truth, man. But I ain't got nothing. It's they live in Delulu land, bro. I don't know what to say. They just live in Delulu land. This shit is crazy. You're a whore. You're a whore. You're a whore. Looking at them baby hairs, you be on Figueroa in that little Chinese lingerie. Talking about you a luxury bitch. You a hoe. Fuck out of here, man.
R-Pain, man, how long have we always had luxury companions without even knowing it, man? That's what they call them today, man.
Nah, a better question to ask R-Pain was, what was the cost of his first luxury companion? We need to do a cost analysis. How much it cost you?
Back then. It was just a trick question and shit. What are you talking about?
We already know the answer. It's always been 20 in the front,
20 in the front, 40 in the back,
and 40 in the back. You know what I'm saying? It's always the price.
Man.
Inflation, I'm telling you, man, they ain't got nothing on it, man. It's always been the same price, man. Go ahead, R-Pain.
Well, nah, man, I'm already. I tell you, listen, man, you know, that's the oldest profession. It's been that way since the beginning of time, man. Women, let me tell you something. Women always barter the box. They just do. It's just part of the nature. It might not be money, it might not be this, but it's always some value they put towards it. And virtue is one of the things that make it more expensive. And they cheapen it by losing their virtue. But every man is willing to pay a price for the woman, right? And that comes with it.
That's why R-Pain. That's why I say sex is not fair exchange. It never has been. It never has been. Even where they try to use the most basic prostitution, it don't cost that hoe no money to fuck you.
That's true. That's right.
It costs you some money to fuck her. You get your nut. And I don't care what nobody say. The body is the body, right? I don't care what nobody say. So no matter how out of tune you are, how you think you turn, if a chick getting some good dick, she gonna get a nut. Whore or not. Whore or not. That's why women want you to be monogamous to them, because they know at the end of the day, that's really why you with them. Yes, the things that come with them, the intangibles, we want those. Yes, that's what make us fall in love with y'all. But every man, no, every single man, I'm so sick of this lie too. Every man knows for you to get a woman, you have to bring something to the table.
Yes.
Something. Either you pay now, you pay later. Sex has never been fair exchange. A nut don't mean the same to you that it means to her. It doesn't. Stop lying. All they do is lie. Stop all this goddamn lying. Don't y'all get tired of people lying to y'all? Don't you get tired of lying and have to remember your story and make up another story to cover up the lie? Don't y'all get tired of that shit? Pull another statistic out your ass. Point out so you can move the goalpost just to cover up a goddamn lie. That's what's wrong with people. No one wants to. It's not even people don't want to tell the truth. No one wants to hear the truth. No one wants to hear it. You're a whore. That's how you know she ain't even proud of it. A proud hoe gonna tell you I'm a hoe. I lay on my back for money. Now these hoes got 12 different names. Fuck out of here, man. Stop lying, bro. Stop lying.
It says right here on the box, man, they're the prize. Right next to where it says luxury companion. You know what I'm saying?
They like I said, man, this is what I'm saying. A woman, you the prize, but the man is the Cracker Jack box. I'm the box of Cracker Jack. Without me, the prize ain't shit. Without me, the prize is a trinket. It's a little stupid tattoo that wash off when your kids go play in the goddamn swimming pool. Fuck out of here, man. All they do is lie. Just lie. All y'all do is lie. And then y'all wonder why men lie to y'all, because when y'all hear the truth, y'all don't know how to act. But y'all can understand a lie quick than a motherfucker. I'm done, man. Go ahead. My bad.
I like to be the first. If you were not privy, this is modern dating. All she did was describe modern dating. You have women out here that want to send you Venmos after you go out and take them out on a date. They want to send you Cash App requests after you take them out on a date. And they're sending you a bill for their time, is what they're sending you. I remember a video of a woman saying that she charged a man $500 after they went out on a date. She sent him the Venmo request. He was smart enough to block her, but that's where their brain is at. It's all transactional to them. Everything is transactional. The only difference is now is that they found a way to monetize the attention on top of it. So by them actually being able to use social media, they actually can find a way to get paid for it on top of getting the attention for going out there and saying, I'm basically a prostitute. This is modern day dating. This is what it is. And this is why I get a little bit irritated when I hear people say, oh, it's all the same. Well, no, it's not the same. I would imagine that back in the day, the women were a little bit more discreet about their behavior. There's no more discretion anymore. That's gone, as you can clearly see. Now, they'll find little cute little words to cover it up, but at the end of the day, sweetheart, you're a hoe. You're a prostitute. You sell pussy. Let's just keep it 100. That's what you do for a living. And that's fine, but you're trying to make it seem as though that's not what you're doing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Kendra G's show is a dating show, correct? She's supposed to be looking for someone to date seriously.
Yes.
So you just went on to a dating show to supposedly to find someone serious and telling them that you are a hoe. How'd that work?
Oh, she said she'd stop.
But now she's reformed, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, she's saved and she's Christ. I got it. I get it. Yeah, well,
you know, her sin's been washed away, you know, with some Fiji water. Come on, Groom in the reviews.
Damn.
So
it's been rinsed away.
I think these kids call this escorting now. You're a fucking slut, you're a whore, you're a prostitute, whatever you want to call yourself. What makes you sleep better, you know, whatever when you pray to God, whatever makes you think you're this innocent, you're not gonna go fucking hell. If she thinks she's gonna change her way after getting married or finding the one, yeah, no, she's gonna do it 10 times more. I feel a pity the fool who she's going to wrap in her little clutches. She's gonna suck him dry, no fun intended, and empty his bank account.
Hey man, Riley Reid got married, so if that's possible, man.
How rare is that shit, dude? I know you're old as shit, but not that fucking old. You can't see what black and white.
I'm only joking, but man, if she could get married, man, all things are possible.
Well, ultimately, that's the biggest issue. The biggest issue isn't that hoes are being hoes. That they've been around for centuries.
Still choosing them.
Yeah, thank you, Uncle Rick. The problem is the men. Why are you still picking these women? And this woman that sat up here on social media and said, with all the confidence, she said it with her chest, I'm a hoe. And I'll stop for you, but that's my past. Now, have we not seen an example of a woman who couldn't get out the business? Do I need to bring up Joe Smith? Didn't he marry a former porn star?
Yes, he did.
And as soon as the money got tight, what did she do? She went right back to doing what she knew how to do. Mm-hmm. So just because it's in her past doesn't mean that it's gone. The problem isn't her. She told you who she was. We watched a video the other day of a woman who said, I told you from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Your money is our money. My money is mine. She told you from the beginning. You still chose her anyway. So who's really the issue here? If you are a known prostitute and I choose you and you continue to do the prostitutional things, she ain't the problem. She told you who she was.
I agree.
So the problem is that they categorizing the wrong women and put them in the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do that, Kevin alluded to this a long time ago. Get you a 1099. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do it, man, let it write off as a tax write-off. You know what I'm saying? As usually your HSA as a medical write-off. You know what I'm saying? You know, so as a health instrument. You know what I'm saying? You getting back to health. You know, my thing is this, man. You're marrying the wrong people. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is the nerve of her calling herself a luxury companion. Well, man, if you ask her for her menu prices up front, then she gonna be upset.
Did you hear what I said?
You know what I'm saying? I don't know about y'all. If y'all go to the restaurant, don't they always hand you a menu, right? To let you know, hey, these are our prices. If you can't afford it, you know, there's the door. But as you can see, we offer a lot of things, and here are the prices next to them. You know what I'm saying? We got 20 in the front, and we got 40 in the back. You know what I'm saying? That's the end all be all, the luxury. That's what you got. That's what you can choose from. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is these folks want to play games. They want to go out and they want you to take them to dinner. You know what I'm saying? They want you to romance them and buy them flowers and candies. Well, that wasn't on the menu. You know, you need to be a 1099. You don't apply for the wife menu. And for this lady to get up here and now all of a sudden she wants to be, you know, the wife, now that she's dating, that she can't, you know, secure no more luxury. Ain't nobody buying the luxury no more. It must not be no good. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? What's going on with the business? You know what I'm saying? If business was booming so good in the luxury business, then why are you down here with Kendra G trolling for cheese? You know what I'm saying? Trying to deal with these little guys with the little monies. You know what I'm saying?
And that girl ain't no luxury companion. Ain't nothing about her luxury.
She's a whore.
Exactly. She's a white man's fantasy. That's what she's feeling. She's fulfilling the ratchetness that a lot of these white brothers, these white guys have, and they want to get with a black girl who maybe is a little bit more thuggish than the normal white women they deal with, the pink toes they deal with. That's all she is. There's nothing about her that's luxury. She thinks that she's luxury because they give her money so she can go buy things. That's not luxury. I don't know what she considers herself luxury. First of all, luxury companions don't get on social media, not like that. They try to be as discreet as possible. There's a lot of women probably right now that y'all don't know that are probably hoeing in the background and have no idea because they won't say anything. So she's not luxury. I don't know what she considers. I don't know why she would consider herself that. But to me, she looks like all the women that I would see on the right. It's like on a day like today, lit, where it's 90 some odd plus degrees. That's what they would look like. They would look just like her, wearing no clothes with a bunch of baby hair covering their forehead.
You better right. We call them face drapes. You know what I'm saying? With them swoops. Man, my whole thing is this: you can't just call yourself something and it just be what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just how dare you? You know, that was the whole thing of Kevin, man. He was like, rate yourself from 1 to 10. That was like, I'm a 10. Everybody can't be no 10. That's statistically impossible. You know, that's what she was saying. She was saying that she was a luxury companion. She was a 10. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, why you ain't here work? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Is work slow, bitch?
Why you ain't at work? You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. You know, is today your day off? You know.
But what's crazy to me, right? Listen. Give me a second, y'all.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm about to pick on somebody in the chat, right? Elevated man, I'm not picking on you. I'm picking on you, but not in a disrespectful way, right? She said, Travel One, the married men need to help the single ones with the correction and direction, right? Well, Travel One always talking shit, but fuck her or whatever the fuck you is. I don't know if you're a man or woman shit. I don't know. She said, OF is getting men's money flowing to them like a river. Men can't say no to women for some reason. On Kendra G show, she ain't correct her. She ain't say to the audience, oh, you a hoe. Did she?
No, she did not.
But see this Mr. Let Go of start, even though I don't like that nigga, I don't like him. Y'all are fucking kids, bro. It's never the conversation. Look, let's listen to what I'm saying. Look. It's never the conversation. Man, these girls should stop whoring. These girls should stop being like that. It ain't never the conversation. These girls, what are you doing on OnlyFans? It's to them, it's an avenue. Use it because men are gonna pay you to do it. They are responsible for nothing. 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 But then y'all want to get treated like full-grown adults. The responsibility of the relationship is not on y'all. The kids y'all could be single mothers, and the kids become bad. It's the daddy's fault because he's not there. The kids become great is because mama was so good. Y'all are children. Not all y'all, because no one's a monolith, but the majority of y'all are children.
Yeah.
You want the freedom of an adult, the accountability of a child, and the responsibility of nothing.
Well, let me just say this. If a man was living a life without consequence, we would call that man a dangerous man. Right? And we got a lot of women living without consequence. I mean, that shit is danger in its own right. I mean, and the problem is so many men buy into that shit that they need to be protected. So, like you said, we treat them like that's the one thing Mr. Letko can get away with when he calls women children, and whether you like them or not. That one thing I don't disagree with him. And the funny thing is, women don't even fight back when he says that shit in front of them.
They sure don't.
The most raunchous hyenas, they just kind of get quiet because they can't argue the point. So I tell you, but living without consequence, women without consequences is not as dangerous as men because of the violence, but it's dangerous enough. And we see it pay out all over the place.
And elevated mind, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just pointing out the default mind state that y'all go to when it comes to responsibility. It's a default mind state. All the improvements have to come from the male side. No improvements are required of the women. Y'all should, they show it every day. Love me as I am. A fat chick don't want a fat dude. She want a skinny dude, right? Because, two fat people shouldn't be together.
Imagine the cannonball they're going to do together.
Elevated mind. See, and I hear what you're saying, sis, but again, to pick on you, right? Everybody thinks they're the minority. Everybody thinks they're the outlier. Is that true?
Fat women get married every day.
That's a fact. Fat women get married every day. So why a large majority of women think they got to walk around looking like the same?
Getting these BBLs, you know what I'm saying?
If fat women get married every day, why every woman walking around here getting plastic surgery and walking around with weave and eyebrows that's not theirs and shit looking Mexican? Whether y'all want to admit it or not, it's y'all the problem. Y'all the problem. When it's men's fault, I've already told y'all plenty of time. That man was wrong. But this is y'all fault. But what do I know? I just did a show the other day, right? I don't have confirmation bias. My biases get confirmed. I don't bring nothing to y'all that y'all haven't proven to me already. But y'all gonna keep lying about that too, so I guess I'll give you some cereal with your milk. That's all I got.
You know, R-Pain, let me ask you a question, man. Back in the day, what was the #1 rated TV show, man, back in the day, man? What was that? Better Homes and Gardens, Julia Childs, you know, all these women on TV teaching each other how to be better home wives and domestic goddesses, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't watch no Julia Childs, but that's from back in the day. Yeah.
Paula Dean, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
Shoot,
well,
those
was lost arts, man.
Hey, man, think about it. Times have changed. Back then, what you put on TV is what you got. You know what I'm saying? You had Julia Childs, and you had, you know, Paula Dean and all them other people, man, making all kind of wonderful dishes and stuff. And I can't believe that. And who else? What's the other lady who looked like Ricky Lake? The chick that's got the cookware that used to be on the Food Network. What's her name? You know what I'm talking about. The pretty girl. I think she's Mexican.
Rachel Ray?
Rachel Ray. Man, what? Hold on. Man, I had a crush on Rachel Ray, man. Rachel Ray was thick and she could cook.
That far back, though. That's not that far back. What was she?
Yeah, man. But back in the day, that's what they used to do. And I know her husband, man. Man, she was fine and she can cook too. You know, we had different things popping off, you know, based on what you advertised to. But now we got stuff like Sexy Red, you know what I'm saying? Dancing around Popeye's chicken, you know what I mean? Talking about twin in the front, fold in the back, booty hole brown, about to lay it down, heading down to Pound Town, you know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, that's what we got right now, man. You don't see a whole lot of women talking about cookbooks and nutrition and all this other stuff. If they do, that's relegated to some obscure YouTube page in the back of the internet somewhere. We don't promote that. Hank, when was the last time you seen a sister, man, with a fire cooking show that everybody supported, man? You know what I'm saying?
No, not that. I've heard women talk about cooking, let alone have an actual show.
Man,
God,
so that's hey, you know, that's a
I got
that's an opportunity, man.
I got some women in my algorithm.
Women that cook.
Add it to the algorithm, man. Put them on,
sure.
our pain. Who are these women? You know what I'm saying?
No, I have the sister.
Well, look, on this long sequelity, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I just flew back in earlier today. Your boy tired. You're
traveling, Dion. You can't get some rest, bro.
Oh, definitely, for sure, Rick, for sure.
Trying to put that LL Cool J on, trying to reminisce.
Y'all have a great weekend. Y'all have a great
weekend. You as well, brother. Be safe, bro.
Appreciate it, Hank.
Yes, sir.
Peace,
you too.
Later.
Look, y'all ain't seen nothing yet because Cardi B about to drop an album. So just wait.
Well, it ain't no WAP. It's about the mop.
It's probably gonna be worse. It's probably gonna be worse than the first. Remember, she didn't drop that album in like 5 years. People haven't realized that. She didn't drop that album in 5 years.
That's because she
was having them try to guess the name of her album. So summer's gonna be interesting. Summer gonna be real fun.
I'm thinking she gonna go from WAP to mop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Mopping these flows. You know what I'm saying? Our pain, man. How come we don't have no sisters, man, with no shows like that, man? We don't promote that.
Well,
stuff
it's
in the
funny
algorithm.
because I put out some cooking videos and stuff, and my algorithm is flooded with different cooking shows. They got a brother who cooks, and the sister has a family of 5, and she's married, and she shows how she's cooking meals for a whole family, and she sets it up, and there's music, and the way she sets it up is pretty nice. It just pops up. I don't know if I subscribe to her channel or not, but it comes through my algorithm because I look at some of the cooking shows and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, we're gonna start sharing some of the good stuff, man. Taking advantage of that because a lot of times, man, people say, "All y'all do is talk about women," blah 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 blah.
Well, she's pretty too, man. Shit.
Yeah. Is she fine too? All right now. That's what I'm talking about.
And, you know, they had a couple shows with her husband
wait a
helping her.
minute,
They sit
okay.
down at the table, the kids are eating, man. They all, you know.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
That's right. I think a lot of times, man, the reason why people don't move forward is because they don't know what the next step is. And I think it's up to us to show them the way. You know what I'm saying? And then what they said on The Mandalorian, this is the
let
way.
me ask you about that, though. You
Go
said
ahead.
let's show them the way. What happens if they don't want to be willing students?
Well, at least we can say that we tried. You know, they can't never say that we ain't tried.
Yeah. That's
they
true.
can't say we weren't leaders. You know, they couldn't say nobody told them. You know, there's a difference between, you know, telling people they should be better and then turning around and show them how to be better. You know what I'm saying? And then actually walking them through the steps, the process of being better.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, I was on a panel over it. This might be risky, and he has like generational things going there. The amount of vitriol that the young people have for old people, I don't even take it personally because I don't think it's necessarily directed at me because they don't know me. But the amount of vitriol they have for their elders is something that's really, really uncanny. You had a young boy on there. I just call him a young boy because he's stupid, right? And he was talking about, why should I have to work to get the woman I want? Right? And nobody challenged him, right? You know, so everybody's listening to him, and they gave him like 3 minutes to talk this stupid. He says, why should I have to go and search for it? Like she's supposed to just appear. And that's it. So I said, man, you know, and of course you got to wait your turn and all this kind of shit. And then the bubble's gone because nobody challenged him. And by the time I got my turn, he had gotten kicked off the panel. But he's a young guy. I'm saying, what kind of mentality is it where you think that it's something that you desire that you shouldn't have to work for? And I think that, and I get into arguments with Trey and other people like that. I don't care what age it is. I don't care if it was in my time or now. If you really want a wife now, you still have to work for it. You might have to work harder, but to say that there's nothing out there, it's just something I can't buy into. I don't give a shit what's going on. Men are men and women are women, right? You just got to go through some chaffs. I mean, you got to go through the wheat. If you don't want to do that, then okay, stay single. You know, but I think a lot of these guys wouldn't recognize a good woman if they saw them, or if they saw her, and vice versa.
You know what? You're right. As a supervisor, man, I used to tell people all the time, you know, there's no such thing as a bad employee. There's only a skill issue and a will issue. I can fix a skill issue. I can show you what to do, but I can't make you want it. I can't make you come to work on time. I can't make you show up, you know. I can't make you have a work ethic. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. That's not on me. You know what I mean? And if you can't do it, then you got to go. And I think that's what it speaks to. What a lot of us people going through now. They just feel like they're entitled to what they want. You know, I see it. You know, we saw that man watching Kevin. People I'm just entitled to a 6-figure man, 7-figure man, just because I'm she. You know what I'm saying? I have a vagina, I have a box. I speak pleasantly. I can spend his money, so therefore I should be his wife. That don't make sense. And to speak to what you said about the other gentleman, you ain't put in the work. Kev used to ride dudes all the time, man. Look at you. You ain't ready, bro. You ain't put in the work. You know, you don't look nothing like what these women want. Let's be real. You know, you want choosing signals. You want women to choose you, but you ain't giving them nothing to choose from. You know? That's crazy.
Choosing signals.
That's right. You're killing me with that foolishness. You ain't put in no work, bro. But I don't think we have enough women telling other women that. They just, you're beautiful, sis. Oh my God, look at your hair. But they don't ever talk to each other's behavior. They never speak to that. Could you imagine if all we did was tell other men, bro, you handsome. And instead of speaking to, hey man, that was messed up, man. What you did with your baby mama, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was kind of foul, bro. You know, we'll call each other on foods like that. Men don't care nothing about all that. You know, we're going to call each other on the carpet, you know? Yeah. But for some strange reason, women like to rely on beauty as if that's the great panacea that you rub on everything and tell a woman that she's beautiful and it's going to automatically fix her behavior. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I know I've talked a few dudes out of like cheating on their wives and stuff like that. I said, listen, man, once you break the ice there, man, you can't come back. You know, you're not going to be able to come back from that, you know? And so I said, listen, you know, so I mean, those are the kind of advice you can give, but you can't. People got to take their advice when you want. But the young guys, man, I think, you know, if they can't actually go for what they want in terms of relationships, then it permeates probably through other things in their life. Forget about the relationship. How about the job? How about advancement? How, you know, I had tried to challenge one guy also. Like he says, well, we don't want to hear what you old heads got to say. It's okay. The future is yours. So what's your plan? And I said, well, what's your plan? And nobody will let the fucking guy answer or even try to answer, because then all of a sudden everything got chaotic. I said, listen, I mean, okay, I'm stupid, I'm old, I didn't live back then and blah, 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 but you know everything. What's your plan? What you going to teach the Gen A's? What you going to do differently than what that you're complaining about? Nothing. Crickets. You know, so I don't know, man.
Like Rick said, this argument's a circular, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They it's like, well, Arpain, how come you ain't talking to your daughters what I am? I'm trying to get all this stuff together. So when they come time for them to choose a husband, I've already talked to this generation. I put in the work. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. And they're asking, why don't we, why do we keep talking about the women? Because we want our sons to have wives that's worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that like Rick said, it's circular, man. You know, you got to put it in the work. Ain't that right, Rick?
Yes, sir.
We got a $2 super chat from Almanine. She said, I don't think they know what they want.
Oh, they know exactly what they want. It's just they used to having stuff handed to them on a silver platter, right? Excuse me. I did a live on this yesterday. The lessons that again, what people don't understand, right? Convenience, right? Convenience and what's the word I'm going to say? Entitlement, right? Is the how can I say this? It's basically par for the course now, right? And again, I blame a lot of people. To me personally, it was a bunch of dominoes put in place for this to happen, right?
Right.
Let me explain. The reason why, right? We look at the world the way we do, and the reason why we have the ideals: get up, go to work, whatever you need, you got to work for, right? All these things that were built into us were programmed to us through the struggles we had as children, right? And let me tell you, if you don't have the wherewithal and a self-reflection once you became an adult to understand the things that your parents put, that whether they put these lessons to you, whether it was voluntarily or involuntarily, right? A lot of us didn't have money. We had to find a way to make fun, right? We didn't have things just available to us right in our face, right?
Right.
Relationships had to be cultivated.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It wasn't no, hey, I'll text you and we meet on Xbox, or you text you hit me on what they call it that they do, FaceTime, right? It was, hey, I want to hang out with you. I might see you out on your porch or see you at the park shooting hoops or whatever. I got to come up and talk to you, right? Street smarts, these things like that, right? Because again, these are the areas we grew up in, the urban areas mostly, but even if you in the country, because some of the baddest motherfuckers I know was country niggas, right?
Right.
So if you didn't have the wherewithal to have self-reflection that these are the things that developed you into the man or woman you are today, what happens is that you actually, in most cases, in my opinion, right, those things that you said that you were deprived of, or that was a struggle for you, your modus operandi when you came up was, I want my kids to live better than I did in these places. And what y'all people don't understand is those are the very things that made you the person you are. So while you pulled those struggles from your children, you robbed them of those character building traits.
Yeah.
You robbed them of it. And not only that, right? The very thing, what we don't replace it with the lessons, right? We don't replace it by being introspective and talk to my kids, hey, how do you see this, right? How do you look at this, right? Or this is why I do this. What most people did, right, is just replace those spots with money, luxury, entitlement, and convenience. Once y'all realize that right now we're living in the first generation of grown people that were participation trophy kids. Participation trophy kids.
You ain't lying.
No, not true.
Right? My oldest boy Andre played football, right? I remember when he had 8th grade and it was his last season and they lost. They lost the Pee Wee, it's little league football, right? And they tried to give him a trophy. My son was like, I don't want that trophy. I didn't win. I don't want that trophy. I didn't win. Second place ain't first. But every other kid took that trophy, right? I'm just happy to be on the field. So this mentality has been programmed into these children, and now they're adults. So when they go out in the world, look at the young ones at the world. I shouldn't have to work for nothing.
Oh yeah.
That was the old way. That's the way y'all did things. Y'all heard of this thing called quiet quitting?
Yeah, man. Folks doing just barely enough to get by on these jobs.
Can't stay at a job, expect to get a raise in 6 months. That's what we're witnessing. Adversity builds men. Don't let nobody tell y'all no different.
It's true.
Because if I can overcome it, that's one more problem I know how to solve. When I see it again, it's easy to deal with. But if you never gave your children those tools and everything was handed to them on a platter, when you send them out to the world, this is what we get.
Yeah, that one is the one fair criticism that what you're saying, Ricky. That's the one fair criticism I have, but it still doesn't answer everything, the vitriol that they have. You know what I'm saying? But it is the one thing. And I understand exactly what we conflated an easier life with a better life, right? I wanted my kids to have a better life than me because of what I saw when I was young. But back then I knew I didn't want to make it easy. That's why my kids didn't get an allowance. They had to do something extra to get that. They had to always do, I had girls, so I couldn't spank them. So I had to be more cerebral with them. So we had lessons and we had to talk. I had to talk to them. But maybe I underestimated, my peers and how they raised their kids, because I damn sure didn't want to make it so easy for them that they didn't respect. Let me just fast forward. My girl went to college. She had a scholarship. The oldest one finished. They both did, but she wanted to go to Rutgers, but she got a full ride scholarship to the University of Buffalo. So Rutgers is like 20 miles away from me, 25 miles most. And she cried like a baby. I said, "You're the only kid I know who got a scholarship and cried because you want to go to Rutgers." They weren't giving me shit, no money at all. So I had to pay for that. So I told her, "Listen, if you have loans, you're paying them shits back. I'm not paying them. And you got this much time to get out, and you're paying them back." And that's exactly how it went for her. But the funny thing is, and just a little side note, I was happy that she went to Rutgers. It was because if I had to reach out to her 400 miles away, I felt more comfortable with her just being 25 miles away. You know what I'm saying? So, but I paid a heavy price for that shit. But she learned by paying that loan back when she came back to stay with me. I mean, she's the tightest one, no debt, no nothing. She knows better now. Can't stand it. That's a lesson to learn. So I understand what you're saying, Ricky. It's really true. That's the one thing we conflated, being easy, a better life with an easier life. But that doesn't explain why the latchkey kids are complaining all the time, right? I had some Gen X. I was a latchkey kid. Like, Well, that's a badge of honor. You survived, so now you can take shit that other people can't. But you weren't a latchkey kid because most of your parents were fuck ups. They had to both work. Right? That's when people really had to work to make and start to make ends meet. Now there was the drug era and all that kind of stuff, but the latchkey kids were basically because you had dual income families.
But and I hear what you're saying, but me personally, I honestly think they ain't mad at you per se. They're really mad at their parents or they OGs or whoever they had around them that didn't really
I agree.
instill. You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
think personally, I'm just there. I'm somebody that is the object of their ire. You know what I'm saying? Because you are the pattern. You know, I'm just saying. But that still doesn't tell me why you ain't thinking about what you're going to do in the future, because you can't go backwards. How are you going to make? You know what I'm saying? What are they going to do for the future?
Well, I think they're not mad at you. They're mad because they don't know what to do next, and nobody's giving it to them. You know what I'm saying? It's that entitlement thing.
But they
Ricky
don't
was talking to the other man.
Nobody can give it to them because they want to figure it out. It seems like they want to figure it out on their own.
They it's not even that. I think that doesn't apply. I think they really want someone to tell them, but it's not that for one, they want the message delivered the way they want it delivered.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yes, that's true.
Right. That's first and foremost. Right. First and foremost, right? They want you to say it the way they want you to say it. 2, they want it to be short and concise. And 3, they want bullet points, like the same thing works for everybody. Right. But like I was saying earlier, right? You can't ask me for advice and then ask me to tailor the message the way you want to.
And then don't pay nothing for it. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, you're right.
If you want something, you got to pay for it. You know what I'm saying?
You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what the issue is.
Right.
The way the message is delivered. Yeah.
Right. So again, it's the entitlement. Right. It's the entitlement. Remember, these are the kids that grew up on the first generation of iPads and iPhones. Everything was right there for them. Like I said, man, if I had, again, let's play hypothetical for a second, right? Even though I don't like doing it. Imagine the way we learned with iPhones and computers. Every single one of us would be doctors. It's the cheat code. Researching for us was going to the library and going through encyclopedias and literature for hours on end.
Yes.
You don't know how hard you have it because you never had it hard. You don't know what you don't know. Right? And again, like I said so many times, they're not mad at you. They're mad at their OGs. They're mad at their parents because, again, what they did was coddled them with convenience and entitlement. And when they got out into the world, right? Or better yet, let me rewind that, right? And everybody's kid was special.
Special.
Everybody's child was special. Right? You got to prepare your children. I didn't like how people say you raise your daughters and your sons different. I didn't. My daughters and son got the same info. They got the same info because the world outside of this house is the world. Right? There was no favors when it came to information. And I say these things and I can say it because it took my kids 15, some of them 20 years to come back and tell me, Dad, you was right. Because all I could do is put it on the floor. That's all I can do. It's up to you to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So again, I'm not saying my kids didn't have some advantages that I didn't have. I felt the same way. I didn't want my kids coming home to a house with no lights and an empty refrigerator. Right? PlayStation was popular. Xbox was popular. Y'all gonna get that because y'all my kids and I love you. Right? But I still prepare. There's no easy rides in this world. Don't let nobody fool y'all. Nothing worth having is easy. Nothing worth having is easy. I don't care if you're a wizard at the stock market. There's gonna be some anxious days.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that people don't teach their children to deal with. Right?
Right.
I agree.
To speak to what you said earlier, Rick, about people sprinkling money on problems. You know what I'm saying? Some things you can't sprinkle money on. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. We were Gen X kids. We were basically latchkey kids. Mom and dad had to work. You know what I'm saying? We had a key around our neck. We had to go home. I'm going to tell you what really made us, man. That damn walk from school to home. I'm going to tell you what it was, man. Sometimes you were faced with problems you didn't ever thought you was going to be faced with. I'll give you an example. Man, when I used to walk home from school, we used to have to walk past bullies. You know what I'm saying? And one of the lessons I had to learn is either you fight or you're going to get beat up in front of the homies. You know what I'm saying? That's something that your mom and dad ain't going to be there for you. And those are some lessons you're going to have to learn on your own. You see what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times, man, it's those pieces that make you who you are. You know, you can't calculate that type of stuff. You can't sprinkle money on a situation like that. That is the concrete and the foundation of who you are as a man. You know, you have to be able to defend yourself. How you gonna protect your family if you don't know how to fight? That don't make sense. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of those things we had to learn as a man. You know, a lot of times people, yeah, you can go out and buy a gun, but what you gonna do if you ain't got no gun? You know, back in the day, we used to, old school, we used to fight each other in the front yard like it wasn't nothing. We used to wrestle. Everybody wanted to find out who was the strongest, you know, who was the best, who was the fastest. You see what I'm saying? That type of thing. That's one of the things that we grew up on. That's what made us a man. You know, it's the same way with the story of the Three Little Pigs. That used to be one of my favorite stories. You know, the first pig made his house of straw. That's what this generation made out of. They made out of damn straw. You know what I'm saying? The slightest little inconvenience blow them over. You know, it's a wrap. Then we got the millennials, man. They made out of sticks. Yeah, they look like straw, but they got a little strength to them. But then again, you got these damn boomers. They made their house out of bricks. These Gen Xers, they done made their house out of bricks. You know, ain't nobody finna just walk up in here and just take your stuff. You see what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be none of that.
Thief! Stop, thief! Come back, thief!
Oh no, you're not coming up in here. You're not taking nothing up in here. You got an ass whooping waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give us participation trophies. You know what I mean? So my whole thing is this: adversity makes you who you are. You know what I mean? Your adversity is forged in the fiery crucible, you know what I'm saying, of life and adversity. You know, you can't make somebody a great person by making it easy on them. You know, no great captain of a ship was a great captain on smooth seas. You know what I mean? Ain't that right, R. Payne? You can't be no leader if you ain't never been through nothing. And I think that's probably what's wrong with a lot of these people these days. They out here on the ocean. They ain't got no map, no compass. Nobody ever told them how to use it. And they're frustrated and they're cursing to the stars. It's our painful. It's them damn boomers. You know what I'm saying?
It's the boomers. It's the boomers.
It's the boomers.
But you know, all of us got that story, man. Once I was taking a bus and a train, I was taking 2 buses and a train to go to school at 8 years old. 8 years old. They just took inventory at night when we got home. Is everybody back? And that was it. And did you do your homework? 8 years old, 3rd grade, all the way up to, you know, because I don't know, for some reason they didn't take me out of this Catholic school down in Harlem, because that's where we used to live. Then we moved to the Bronx, and we had to travel to snow, sleet, snow, to cancel trains. We had to get off. Sometimes we had to go to Fort Apache in the Bronx to get off. And I'm in a fucking Catholic school uniform with the stupid book bag with the big cross on it, looking
like a damn target. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Come on here, schoolboy.
Yeah, I mean, I think if that happened today, it probably would be child abuse or neglect, right? Because then people said, well, it was safer back then. You don't think there were? I said, you don't think there were pedophiles back then?
They had a white van back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Are you kidding
they used to tell
me?
us, don't talk to strangers. Don't take candy from strangers. They already knew they was out there, you know?
But like Ricky said, that's the shit that sharpens you up later on. those kind of responsibilities so early. You know, being able to make your way home when there was a snowstorm in New York City and something was canceled. They had to have alternate ways to get back, learning the train system and taking this one here and that one there. And when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, you know. So, like I said, yeah, these kids today never had to do that, right? That's where we started conflating, you know, easy with, you know, better with easy. But the convenience of technology didn't demand for them to have that either. So we had to find other ways to challenge them, and that's where I think that they were failed. You know, they were just coddled. I don't know. There's no other way around that. I'll give them that.
Yeah, it does the census. But yeah, man, I'm out of here, y'all. Fellas,
hey,
be easy.
Take care, Ricky. That's a good one,
Our
man.
brothers, man. Y'all be
Appreciate
safe,
it,
man.
Rick.
Have a great weekend, bro.
You too. Appreciate it. Black David.
What's up, Black
Yeah.
David?
Welcome to the show, sir.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was enjoying
What's happening?
I was enjoying the whole conversation and hearing the argument, and I'm trying to ask myself this question. Well, Uncle Ricky said it's on point, but there's something that still bothers me. When I say the young generation are being too entitled, right? Okay, I get it. They want things handed to at the silver platter. But when you the same type of generation or pick on the immigrant who bust their ass, are they in the same class with them and make fun of them because they got high grade and they got mediocre grade?
That's the same folk, man.
Well, they're not the same generation that make fun of immigrant who speak a certain way, who carry on a certain way, who's always in the study hall studying while they're out there playing, trying to go to the party. Are they not the same generation?
Sound like it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're not the same generation that make fun of the immigrant who get valedictorian and they get top of the class, they get to this college of their choice, and they get picked on because they're not wearing no fancy clothes, they don't have no swag, they don't have the latest Jordan. And is that correct?
Yeah, same group.
Interesting. But if I go a little further, I did not the same group of
Black David,
people
you
that pick
breaking up,
on the
bro.
worker who working harder than everybody else, who doing 3 times what the other people were doing.
Yeah.
I'm picking up. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you got a delay, man.
Okay. Let me repeat what I was saying. Are they not the same people who claim they don't like when these immigrants come to their work environment and work harder than them, faster than them, do way more workload, and they get shit on because they try to make them look bad? Are they not the same generation?
Yep.
So if they're not gonna blame the boomers, that means we next in line to be blamed then. Isn't
No,
that
they ain't
so?
gonna blame us. But we ain't had nothing to do with that.
No, but like I said, they don't blame you. They blame immigrant for taking their job, right? You blame immigrant for getting a high grade. You blame immigrant for studying in the midnight hour in the candlelight so don't disturb their family, right? You blame immigrant who will work long hours and study while they have a lunch break. We don't putting that out there because I'm hearing a lot of excuses being made. They say the boomer don't get on nothing. They don't say nothing. They don't drop no wisdom. But yesterday's show, I watch it and I see how they don't want to hear nothing from the likes of our pain and the elders because they got nothing to say. But they're not the same one that will shit on the people who are not black like them, but will work their ass off until who knows what. But you will shit on those same group of people. Are they not the same one? Or am I wrong?
You know what? Here's the thing, Black David. I think that's something with every generation. You know, my dad used to tell us, you know, keep living, you're gonna be old one day. You know what I'm saying? But think about it. Back in the day when rock and roll first came out, ain't that right, our pain? They said, y'all gonna rot y'all mind out with that rock and roll music. Ain't that what they said to that generation?
Absolutely.
Then they told
I
us
remember
that
hearing
rap music gonna be the downfall of y'all. That's what they told us, our generation. You know? So I think that's what every generation know, to be honest. You know, that's
No,
just how it is.
and
The young
I'm
folks
glad
always
I'm
think
hearing
they
that.
know everything, basically.
And I'm glad I'm hearing that because when I mentioned They need to start taking more time looking to their elder. Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, so you don't mind repeating history then? You don't mind being in a circle and being the same place that the one before you then? So you're not willing to break out of the circle or the curse, like people call it? No,
They
I'm
don't care
trying to
about that
make.
because they
I'm
can't see past the edge of their nose, man. You can't worry about folks like that.
I'm trying. That's why I'm trying to make sense of that. That's why I'm just bringing that last little monologue because as I'm seeing it now for the past year and a half, it seemed to me it's best to have what they call like your mentor said, Kevin Thewell, tailored to Black America. The ones who know better separate themselves from the ratchets and the masses who don't want to do better, so they could do things their own direction, leave the one behind. Is that the case?
Let me tell you, one of his last messages was self-awareness is sexy. And a lot of people really didn't catch that, you know? And I don't think he went into it a little bit more, but I got the gist of it, man. Know who you are so that way you know where you need to be. You know what I mean? You know who needs to be around you. And that way you know you can go where you need to go. And I think a lot of times people are in denial of who they really are because they're getting information from other people telling them, hey, you know, you great, you the greatest, and you know, really not putting no effort in. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So I think that was the next step in the next evolution of the conversation is taking an honest assessment of yourself and making sure that you put forward the best version of yourself, you know, which is one of his monikers that I think I hear a lot of people using to this day, but they really don't give him credit for it. But we already know where that came from. But at the end of the day, self-awareness is one of those things we really, really have to dive into. Pain, did you want to wrap it up, man? Did you want to say anything before we get up out of here?
Yeah. I know. So thanks for we had a good night tonight, man. It was pretty good, man. I like that the panel was all right, man. No arguments, no nothing else. That was great for a change. One of the things I was thinking about is what's the real solution to all of this kind of stuff that we have, you know? Because the one real thing is that when a man wants to get married and a woman wants to get married, because people say they still want to do it, even though now I'm not as understanding the way people are so transactional. I don't really push it. I'm just saying if you really want to be married to somebody, whether you're a man or a woman, right? How do those people meet? And then what, I think the first thing really is, what are you willing to do to make it work? With the modern mindset, right? Forget about the past mindset with duty and all that shit was there. With the modern mindset, can they actually do what it takes to stay married? If not, then don't do it. Find another way or alternative way. If you like somebody, I'm back to, we had a thing alive, write a contract. If you really want a partner, then make it a partnership. Right? Just keep it secular. Here's a partnership. We don't have to have no vows.
Right.
We document certain things. We're going to be together because we like each other. And you know what? The back door is still open. We don't have to necessarily get the state involved. And if we break up, we break up. But I wouldn't recommend those. But I think people get married today belittle the daggone sacrament of marriage because they're not willing to believe in the vows. And here's another one. We got to get rid of no-fault divorce. You heard
about Kenya, didn't you?
So what?
You heard about Kenya, didn't you?
No, what about it?
Man, look it up, man. They getting rid of no-fault divorce, man. They were saying, why should a woman come in and take half of the marital, estate, and if you didn't put in on it? They cracking down on that, man.
We got to get rid of that. And there's 3 states in the union have what they call a covenant marriage. They took the vows and they made it into a contract. And so if you take those vows, man or woman, you have a covenant together, it's not easy to get out of that and divorce. It's Louisiana, Arkansas, I think, and Arizona, I believe. I don't know. But the truth of the matter is, I just don't think people have the intestinal fortitude in mass to actually cleave to each other, knowing that, especially women, knowing that just having indiscriminate sex is bad for you. Not that you shouldn't do it, because women do it, but the trauma that comes out of that ruins you. No matter how, all these women on TikTok and everywhere else, you could just tell that when they're crying on the internet, it's because they took so much energy from so many different men that they don't know what's up and what's down. And the trauma for men is different. We don't talk about trauma that way because we had a lot of women, you know? So I'm just saying, I don't know what the solution is, but I don't know how we're going to get there. I really don't. You know, there's always some kind of, what you call it, a recalibration in the future.
Yeah.
And I think that future is going to look nothing like what we have now. It's nothing at all. I just don't think that we're going to have that critical mass to rebuild what we had, whether what we had was that great in the beginning or not. I'm not so sure.
I will tell you this though, this pandemic, you know, was basically a relationship reset. And it made people rethink how they look at each other, especially the women. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to get people's attention when they're busy doing other things. But once they shut everything down, you had no choice but to listen. And then the men started talking. It was like, well, wait a minute, where did this come from? Well, it's always been there. Y'all just had the volume turned up on everything else. You know what I'm saying? So now you're able to hear. So now all of a sudden it's a shock to the system. Well, now that you've heard it, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
You know what I mean? No, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to go ahead and get this last few super chats in. Through the fire, he said, stopping in while on the white man's clock. Appreciate it, TJ. And also, Almanize, she said, I don't think they know what they want. You know, I believe that.
That's
and
true.
With that, I'm going to give y'all some J Moss, some different J Moss this time. Give me a second. I'm going to pull him up, man.
I'm on it now. Be cute. Jam. Remix. You don't be liking what I did. You don't be liking what I said. But it ain't a prerequisite. Whether it works in your head. Yeah. Oh, these 60 seconds of mine. I get to say whatever's on my mind. You ain't even gotta say nothing. Move on and let me carry on. It's what I wanted to say. What I put on my page. It's what I wanted to say. I ain't even gotta ask you. What I put on my page. I don't wanna have to try you. What I wanted to say. But it's mine. It's what it is. What I put on my page. It's what I wanted to say. One more. Kanye. What I put on my page is what I wanted to say.
That's nice.
You know what? That's what's up, man. And on that note, man, we're going to be about it. Black David, did you want to give us a last little final thought line shout out before we get up out of here, man?
I'll just say one thing, man. Get your shit together, get your head on tight, and don't get distracted. That's all.
That's it. That sounds good to me.
All right,
thank you guys for coming out, man. If y'all hadn't already hit the button, make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you continue the conversation down in the comment section after the show. Leave a comment. Also, you can always hit the super chats anytime you get ready, or the super thanks anytime you get ready. And make sure you go and you tell a friend, man. They doing business over here on Black Man and Filter side of the world. Thank you guys for coming out, and good night.